Came in looking for a friend I used to know. His voice was red and blue, it hummed so low. Aisles roll like ocean waves, the signs all sway. I swear I saw him turning down the juice, running down the street. The ceiling drips like candle wax, cherry life in Angeles City. The grapes are whispering my name, but they don't know the rules of the game. I can't carry this much Kool-Aid, slipping, sloshing in my arms. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, stand up for yourself. Drinking the Kool-Aid, Philippine style, stay blind, follow destructive behaviors or ideologies. Hey Kool-Aid man, hey Kool-Aid man, hey Kool-Aid man, hey Kool-Aid man. The soda hisses, little rhymes, the barcode sings in silver chimes. The intercom calls out my name, but I don't think I played the game. I can't carry this much Kool-Aid, it's bubbling up, it's getting strong. The bottles slosh, they slip like water, and my hands are made of fog. Oh, I lost my grip, and the world spilled out. Red and blue rivers rolling down my feet. People staring, faces stretching, dripping colors swirling deep. I can't carry this much Kool-Aid, slipping, sloshing in my arms. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, stand up for yourself. Drinking the Kool-Aid, Philippine style, stay blind, follow destructive behaviors or ideologies. Hey Kool-Aid man, hey Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah! Kool-Aid man, follow everyone and just be dumb.
And what's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
What's going on? Good morning and good evening. It is Saturday morning, and you said it's Universal Happy Donut Day today. This is well, at least I fasted.
Well, according to the girl at Dunkin' Donut that gave me 2 free donuts, it's National Donut Day.
So guys,
No, she did.
Did she?
Well, that's because it's National Donut Day. She gave me 2 free donuts.
It's right because you're a pogey.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not why.
And later, remind us, George is going to tell you a story about his uncle and how to buy a burger here in the Philippines. It's going to be hilarious. I laughed so hard I about pissed myself. So, all right, guys. So what we have going on here today, here, that's a little better. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I like that much light. We've got a light on in here, but
Scott.
So today is Friday night for those that are in the United States and those that are here in the Philippines that are awake, and 9 a.m. So we will be discussing this. It seems like quite a few videos have been put out forever on the age gap relationship, when it's actually too much. I just seen the Filipina P just do a age gap video, and she showed a couple, and then she used, hey, is she going to cheat on him? Probably so. But enough of that. It's better than comparing the Wendy's with the Wendy's. Not me. I'm just old. I have every right to be pessimistic like an old prophet. Are you kidding me right now? So either way, pessimistic, I'm just going to get to the point. That damn relationship ain't going to work unless he dies. That's the only way it's going to work. Anyways, that's the way it's going to work.
There's something called true love.
Oh, I'm sure they truly loved her as they were nut busting on that Peach Mountain.
Look, you guys want to find
Peachback Mountain.
Want to find true love? Go down on First Street at 3 o'clock in the morning on the corner.
You want true love? You just get a cat.
Right by Angel's Fried Chicken. That's where they'll find.
And move to the ABC Hotel, and you can have you a lady all the time, real pretty, and then get a cat. Unconditional love. That's why I have George. Unconditional love.
Well, why don't you just get a lady boy? That way you get, like,
lady
love and male love at the same time.
I already do. So hush. Hush, hush. And I don't want to hear about pump the brakes tournament because I'm about ready to go. All right. So we received an email, okay, that came in the last 24 hours. George just read it. I've read it, and I can't freaking believe it. First off, we did not like the Ricky being here today is weird because the person addressed him as Ricky. I had no idea he was going to dress up today. So the person addressed him as George/Ricky. We haven't done Ricky. Unless George got in emails and found it this morning, but George just got up. You know how that goes. He's usually not here on Saturdays. And it's another rose. And this one is a doozy, and hence the thumbnail. Now, I and George have not stopped talking about that couple, the American man and Filipino wife, because what I can't get over, we had a full discussion about this morning. And he's defending her on the charity situation. And I'm like, okay, she did some charity. Oh, right. But for me, it's the deception in the channel for so long as people gave him gifts. And
Who's defending?
You was just saying that it was nice that she did it, and you was going on. Okay, it's nice that she did something. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're a cheater. You're a cheater, and you're bringing your son on down with you. And
can't discount what somebody's. Okay,
I can.
No, you can't.
I can 100%, because the problem that I have is, okay, she did that. If she would have told people at that time, that's fine. Then they could have made their decision with what she did to her boyfriend, is what he is now. If they would have stopped telling people and selling her as a sex object, if they would have stopped all that in advance and said, hey, she's been, licking on somebody else's popsicle for a while, or she's been this and that, and she's a cheater, and all of this, it could have made the difference on the charity instead of making their case look wholesome. Hush, Ricky. Hush, Ricky.
Now,
Ricky,
she's all into charity, and obviously she has no problem, sharing creamy roast beef.
And by the way, they definitely deleted that video of that guy, the other guy that you guys claim was the father, because that baby had to be conceived March or April of last year. The only guy that I seen was that old dude. That's why I jumped on that case. But there is no videos. I even sat painfully through a bunch of their live streams, and I didn't see anybody else. So they do have a lot. Maybe I missed and was scrolling through one and missed it. So they must have deleted it to avoid it.
Sorry,
but you guys caught it.
Sorry.
Get off of me, Rick.
No video for you. No video for you.
I'm sure he was ugly.
Whoa. That's a beautiful baby.
He's a baby. He's a baby.
No, there's some. Okay, even chat will agree that there are some ugly.
But let me give you some advice, honey, this morning. I would start on those nose massages. You're supposed to pinch the baby's nose to make sure it comes in European. It's a Filipina thing for their babies, hoping their noses will become European.
Truly, technically, that would work.
And I would start that whitening soap and pig milk and cream on the baby in advance to keep him nice and white. But that's somebody's white baby. So, anyways, we got that white baby clip. We haven't played. Let's play that white baby clip. That's my favorite.
Hold on.
Just because you name him Darren doesn't mean he belongs to Darren.
Yeah, this software needs additional steps.
I thought it was in there. Yeah. And AI confirmed that regular guy is the daddy.
Hi, Daddy. Whose goddamn white baby is that? This is your baby, okay?
Why does he look like?
Mm-hmm.
Damn white.
That one might be mine. That one right there. I'm not totally sure. Just because you name him Darren don't mean he belonged to Darren. But I don't care what this baby's name is. This baby is rice-skinned, but not light-skinned. That is a white child. That is Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus. That is a Slavic baby, a Viking from Iceland. That baby got 730 as a credit rating, right?
And that baby's got an 800 credit score because she's got 2 white dudes paying for it. Whoa. Way to go that you're hustling, right. Girl.
Wow, you ain't right.
You know I'm right.
It's probably true. I hate to
say and we were discussing his income. We've watched them spend and how he processes meat. That's a lot of income. So, and supposedly he said he only makes 800. I got a lot to say, and I haven't even got to the story.
A lot of people.
Yeah, they
What?
spend a
Okay.
lot of freaking money
No,
for
okay,
someone who
okay.
will only make 800.
For
That's
those
just an
of you
act.
who
Hey, I'm
just
going to flat out say that I'm just broke. I didn't plan well for retirement. There's our QR code up
pump the
there.
brakes.
And in case George falls down the stairs next week, I'm going to need donut
Pump the
funds.
brakes. For those of you who haven't seen our last live or just joined us, okay, what are you talking about?
Oh, the couple? I mentioned that at the beginning. Oh, pump the brakes. I had 2 donuts already.
No,
And
okay,
caffeine.
okay. So Heidi's talking about a couple that have a YouTube
Hey,
channel.
Ted.
Okay, not the couple we're
I
going to
did
talk about today.
say the American man. I said that in the beginning. American man, Filipino. I did from the very beginning.
Right, we have to give the whole scenario
Oh, okay. I guess filling you guys in.
because again, not everybody watches us. Not everybody follows us.
You want me to give it in a nutshell, or are we going to wait for the full version?
No, you give the nutshell, but you have to make sure that it has every detail.
Okay, I'm going to do the best I can because I know I like to beat around the bush too.
Yes, we can tell.
There was a Filipina up in a tree. She needed a baby monkey. She claimed she didn't have no baby monkeys.
Whoa.
And she already has another monkey in several places. She's got a married one, and then she's got one somewhere else that's been watching her on YouTube. Somehow, that old monkey couldn't produce, so she hit up that other monkey, and then she got pregnant, and then she told the entire world that, or they both did, that they're married, and that's their baby and all that, and they're carrying on this happy YouTube monkey life. And then but the whole time she had moved out, went to a hotel room. They had built a second house. She's been living in the second house when she does her live streams and everything else. I watched a few of those, didn't watch the entire thing. I can't sit through that crap. That she's doing the typical Filipina thing, and she's going through and she's doing a simp channel, and she on that channel, on their channel, and he's wondering why somebody hooked up with her. But the whole thing is that she's been living in that place for quite some time. And they just announced 10, 11, 12 days ago that they're not married and the baby isn't his. So they've been doing charity work. They've been building things. They've built most of the channel based on here's my sexy Filipina. Here she is, good, happy housewife, good, happy mother. And all of this, and the whole time it was a sham. That's where I fall into the charity side. Thank you for doing charity. Very nice of you. But it all gets erased in the eyes of God when you're cheating on the man and you're married to somebody still, and the baby is born out of sin and out of, there's so much going on with this story. It's unreal. But now, on top of that, the charity situation. People have been sending money for that.
Well, they're sending her. Okay, they're
if
sending.
They didn't known she was cheating, and they really.
Okay, no. Go ahead.
That's how they've been building it and everything.
Right,
American man, Filipino
it's...
wife. But she changed it recently to the name of her child, and he says he's handed the channel over to her. In the meantime, he's been talking to somebody online, and there's a woman coming to live on the property. Supposedly the property's hers, and they're going to give him a 25-year lease while she lives in the back house, supposedly. And who knows if that man's coming. Allegedly, they were in our live. I still don't believe it. And we told them if they were, they could have contacted. And of course, we haven't heard from them.
No, because it was Alexander's fifth month anniversary, and that's why it literally happened like a day after. They're out there doing something which we don't know, but what I'm saying is,
and I still think those kids that are running around the house that are always on her porch are her kids. I still think those kids, we're not talking about those little chess players that she thought she would start a club with. If that had been any other circumstance, that'd have looked a little creepy. But anyways.
Well, what I'm saying is don't discount the good works that they did because of a mistake.
All right, guys. So do you think she should have told people as they were building these things, doing stuff for the school, doing charity, having parties for people? They should have told people.
They should have. No, okay. In their defense, okay.
Oh, we've had a few
In their
naysayers that
defense.
said it's none of our business. It's definitely
Okay,
it's definitely a YouTube
that
business.
part, I hate to say this again. You guys are the ones that let it out of the gates. It's on you. But no, on their defense.
And you're lucky this is part monetized, or I'd have a lot more choice words for you guys.
In their defense, okay. I'm saying literally on their defense that the reason why they did not disclose such information, they did it for the kid and they did it for the family.
What kid? Oh, you talk. What do you
Hey,
mean?
Okay. The family. Why? Because again, it's they didn't know what's going on with
I
them
think
as
the
far.
family knew. She's been.
I understand that. I'm just letting people know in their defense. That's their defense.
This is the old
Okay.
phone.
They withheld the information. Be careful.
Sorry.
All right. In their defense, again, they withheld it because the family didn't know, and they didn't want to stress her out. Okay.
During her pregnancy,
Correct.
which was
And
said in the second.
the
They tried
part-
to say it all
That's
was
the
just
part
recent.
on the baby.
She's been living in that house for months, the other one. So they've known. This just wasn't a little bit of planning. This was about getting the money. This was mostly a con deception situation going on.
Okay, now on that part, be aware that the population is pretty much split in half. I'm talking about her viewers or his viewers. I said her because although it's his channel. Because you always have.
Yeah,
well, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
The money and everything is going through his account. The account is currently set for the United States, which means he's collecting the
Right?
funds.
No, we know that.
Which I'm
That's-
sure
that-
legally
That's why I
he's
said
paying the
it's his
taxes
channel.
on all
That's why I
that
said it's his channel.
in the Philippines.
No, and again, honestly, she has her channel. She should stay on her channel, and he has his channel, and he should keep his channel.
Yeah, it's monetized unless he's going to turn the
Yeah,
whole
Randy,
thing
if you're
over
listening to
and-
me, dude, I mean, you're getting steamrolled. Just saying. But in what I'm saying is, again, man, I got derailed there big time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's between the cat and me, and we were talking about besides the payment, live stream, and her taking over the channels. What we were discussing. She's been doing. He gave it over to her. That's where we were at.
Well, yeah, I kind of gave it to her, but again,
Like I said, it's in his name. I'm just wondering where they're paying their taxes, which is another deal. So.
yeah. Well, either way, again, it's not always about them in the first place.
And so we do have a new story that we're going to discuss. So all of these probably should have saved this other one for another day, but I'm going to tell you about another couple after a little bit. But I do want to correct that there is a 24/25 year age gap. My fault for saying 30. Like that made it any better for those that informed me. Thank you, not. Next. And then, like I said, I was trying to say the conception was at one point I said it was 2023 and it was like way off and everything. So I had already corrected that. And that's about all I want to correct. Still a sinner. That's all I got.
Okay, on the cheating thing.
Isn't that special?
That's where I was. Her viewers, or his viewers rather, again, are split in half. The other half is on her side, and the other half is on his side. Meaning, the other ones I'm gonna be honest with you. The problem I have with the split up of the viewers, again, most of their viewers, the moment they realized it was all deception, they kind of bugged out. Some of you in the chat already said that yesterday. Now,
Hey, Pauls, are you one of her people or
Right.
something?
well, that's what I was getting at. The other half, again, are her white knights.
Probably more than half.
Now, when I say white knights, the problem I have, I look at these. I mean, I don't care. Again, it is their business.
He's been selling her.
Right.
He's
Well,
been-
yes.
He's been pumping and pushing for a while.
It is their business, and
fentanyl.
however, the way they're doing it is somewhat. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa!
Hey, yo, guys. The cats found the donuts. Get them, Ricky. Yeah, babe, they're good. They're really good. You can't. I told you they're like.
Oh, they have ube donuts here, by the way. Ube.
Now I said don't show those till later. You got.
Well, I have to save the
Look
ube
at
donuts. Your kid
George.
was.
Check her out. They're all licking their lips.
Yeah,
Oh, they've
Calvin.
got- oh, cow. We call.
Old Calvin wants to.
We call the-
Hey, Calvin.
We call
But-
the kids cow and chicken.
Right.
So because we say
So-
cow.
Again, I wasn't. Again, it's their business, but I was just. This is just an observation. Most of the ones that stuck through are actually older expats that are watching our channel.
We're hoping for
And
the
I
same
hate to
life.
say this, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. These are most likely expats that are hoping
For the same
maybe
life.
I have a chance. Maybe I have a chance. Maybe I have a chance with her.
Simpson.
Maybe I have a chance with her.
Simpleton Simpson.
It
Simpson.
again, it's not something I was looking for. It was just something I came across. That again, basic observation. However, again, that's their thing, and that's their
Yeah.
shtick, as it were. I mean, if creamy roast beef is that's your game, that's fine by me. You know what I'm saying?
Rack's roast beef.
Correct. I
The
mean,
other beef, just as fresh as the old stuff that's been hanging in the mountains. Anyways, so somebody said in there the reason she was in the house is because of slippery tiles. Well, you must have missed the other live streams because she made about 10 other excuses. She said it's because he smokes and it's going to get to the baby and all of this bullshit. You know what I lived with when I was a kid? Carbon monoxide and lead paint. I'm perfect.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine.
okay. Now, as far as why she's somewhere in a different area, it's because she's obviously a
Slippery tiles.
C-section and she is high risk pregnancy, and therefore she has to be right by the hospital.
Really?
I'm not her white knight. I'm just saying,
What
you know,
she said.
in all probabilities.
Well, is that what she
You,
said?
yeah, it's okay. She doesn't have to say it, although I believe she did say it.
No, what we've been.
However, you do realize where they live, right?
No, I got where she is. So
Yeah,
here's my
exactly.
deal. All right, that's
good luck,
fine.
Good
But
luck in the middle of the night getting
go
the
look at her
transportation.
stuff. Go look at her stuff. And there was already issues going on, and she had already left. That's a lot of shit to take for a C-section. She moved out to move out. And I'm talking about she's currently living in the other house on the property in advance and now after the baby. She's been back there. And when people kept questioning her during the live stream, she kept saying other things. It's because of his smoking. It's because of this. It's because, and it's because you guys ain't together. Ian already said it. 5 years of deception, period. My wife this, my ass assistant. Show that to the church too, by the way. Stuffed sausages.
Oh, you
and I
mean
just realized
the
he's
sexy
processing
thumbnails
meat.
and stuff? I mean, is that what you're talking
No, she's been pumping him and he's been pimping her. Pump pimp. Pump pimp. Pump pimp. Pump pimp. What?
Well,
Get it?
I was just saying. I mean,
Pump the brakes.
Hold up. I mean, you're ruining my chances for free roast beef. I'm just saying.
I can't take the flash. You're about ready to give me the what's it called? He's about ready to give me the what's it called? So that's
Free
all
roast
that's
beef.
going. That's
Free
all
roast
that's
beef.
going on.
Nothing wrong with free roast beef.
Sorry, get your hair. Oh, is that where's the clear ones at? What? Are them the better ones for you for headache reasons? Because the dark ones I can't see your eyes. Between the flash of the light and the darkness, you go dark, and especially with the hat on. But oh well.
I'm always dark.
You are dark.
I'm Batman.
You're not Batman. So anyways, that's what they've been doing. I'm down to the whole thing, and supposedly she's saying it's a whole different story. It probably is. Probably the same as Rose and David Campbell and all these other ones, I'm sure, because I had to deeply think about it. I'm sure there's a lot going on that could say, I mean, how do we know he isn't out there doing something, or there's a bunch of things bad he's been doing to her? So on the edge of everything. But to me, she's still married to somebody else. She still cheated on him. He apparently is in love with her and cares. He invests a lot of money. Again, we have a story coming up where a guy gave everything away, like $103,000, sold his house, took the inheritance from his 3 adult kids, and he came here within you know, he'd only known her for like 2 weeks. He's been married to her for a year, and he's paying for everything. And they kicked him out, and he's still paying for everything. And they're not really even married. Like, she produced fake documents and had him basically hostage in a hotel room, and then produced papers. Here's the documents, and then got married. And it's crazy. It's a crazy story. And like I said, it's Matt and Rose or something. It's like,
who got married?
Yo mama.
She
In
did?
1968. So that's where we are. So there's a bunch of this age gap crap. That's what I should have named it. Just going down the drain, you know. What was a good age gap, guys? Like,
oh, well, I mean, age gap. I mean,
yeah, but when you get 25, 30 years and it's dealing with somebody, most of these girls, you can pinpoint they're in a form of poverty, beyond poverty. Hell, I was in poverty as a kid, but they wouldn't consider what I was in poverty, because I had clothes and snow boots and lead paint and brown icicles. You know, didn't mean that I was like living in a castle or something. But my point is a lot of these girls, due to the poverty level, puts them into a desperation spot.
well, age gap, there's nothing wrong with age gap. The problem I have, or George has, is it's the intentions behind it. As long
Usually on both sides.
as long as
though.
the heart is real, it's okay.
But sometimes the expats, now will
Well, I'm going to be honest with you again. It's usually not. That's the problem. Most of these girls are just desperate, like you said.
Now, I do want to say these guys aren't innocent by any means. They're overweight like I am. They're older with a lot of medical conditions. They're desperate. They've been hurt by women all over the world. Women are women, as you can see. They cheat everywhere. And so this just kind of goes around. So these men also have ill intentions, a lot of them. They come here, they look for these young girls that they can control. So there's like two sides. Basically, it's like a karma thing going around in a circle.
Okay, just real quick. It's in the subject. Be aware that the young girls in the Philippines that they can control has nothing to do with the Philippines. Most of the time, it's the same men in the U.S.
Well, they're just ballers.
or wherever you're
They
at.
don't have the money to ball in the U.S. to buy down the young
Well,
girls.
it's not that. That's
Unless
the
they're
thing.
at Fifth and
It's they're looking
Norton
for
Street.
younger women to control. Has nothing to do with the country, except it's easier to do it here because, again, you know,
Usually when there's anything, more than 7-8 year age gap, a lot of issues start after that 10 maybe. And everybody will say, oh, well, it's only 15 for me or 20 and I'm doing fine. But I'm sure you were smart. Our viewers are pretty smart.
I would say within 10 years is reasonable because honestly, most people you meet aren't within your same age. I would say 10 years is a good plus or minus.
Okay, well, like I said, there's a whole lot going on, and I'm just surprised they didn't do another video. So they just playing the quiet side,
They
and that's
can't
fine.
because again, they're out doing stuff with their kid or her kid.
Probably
Well,
kids.
It
Might be her only kid, but there's other kids running around. But I'm just surprised, being she was married before.
Well,
still
I
married,
think there's.
that there
I mean,
wasn't
my
other
opinion
kids.
is probably
That's-
other kids, only simply because of the body structure. But hey, what do I know?
And she was married before.
Well, like I said, what
And
do
here
I
in the
know?
Philippines, that tends to produce kids. So, let me see. 12 minutes ago, sir, I really hope you get a chance to read my comment. If I was you, I would not have explained myself to no effing one. They are just jealous.
Jealousy has nothing to do with it. If you
They're
like,
jealous of you that you have a beautiful wife. Dude, did you not watch the
that's
video,
the thing.
Samuel?
Apparently, they didn't. This is on the
Explain
same.
to who?
This is on the
is
same
12
video
minutes
where they
ago.
said they're actually not together.
No, this is on the second one where he's re-explaining himself
Which
about
is worse.
trolls.
Which is worse. Yeah.
That he's responding to the trolls. And if they were up in our room, that's why I'm saying I'm surprised they didn't have another video.
Well, that's what I'm saying. White knighting.
It says
That's white knighting.
here that
Classic
you
white
have a
knighting.
beautiful wife and you live out in a beautiful country living the life that they wish they could. So there's always going to be effing haters. Your wife and your child love you. Do not stop making your videos. And evidently, sir, you didn't watch their video because they said he is going to stop making videos. He's got another woman coming. He's already in another relationship.
They're not really together.
Well, she's on their way, and he considers it a relationship.
No,
He was
no. I'm talking about the
couple.
other girl.
Okay. Gotcha. So no, they're not. And they're not even married. So they
Correct. Obviously, well, that's why I said he's white knighting. He's just defending for no apparent reason other
right
than
here, Randy.
loyalty, which is
3
fine.
hours ago. You have plenty of support. Don't let the Karens control what you are doing. Don't let your wife continue, or your whatever you called wife actually sit there and control you while you're there. This vid has been up for 2 days and all the negative comments. Wow. Do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Come on, folks. It's Randy and Rose's life as they choose. It appears that they have made decisions and that they feel is best. They are entitled to the time. They're entitled to that. Time will tell. As it pans out. For the one who I'm rooting for them, none of us are able to see into the future or predict the outcome. I personally don't believe either party is taking advantage of each other. That they both have a stake in the beautiful slice there in heaven. Hey, you be positive all you want, sir. Let me respond. Let me respond to that.
Well, now here's the problem I have. It is
you put it out there, then shut down the YouTube channel and continue to live your life. But get off that mountain, sir.
That's what I'm saying. Again, it's and again, whether it's Rose listening or Randy's listening, be aware that I understand that you want others to respect that you have decided to hold back on the information that you held and then release it several months after. That's fine. However, be aware that when you put that out there, when you get flack from it, you kind of negated the right to attack the people.
Mine is digging deep into people's life and mentioning car accidents from 14 years ago, kind of bullshit.
What I'm saying is, again, that kind of
what you put out on YouTube,
that kind of negates your right to attack your own viewers, because there were there were attacks on their viewers, on their not on their comments, but comments on them, because guys, you got. Of course, people are going to react. Of course, people are upset. People are hurt. People are deceived.
Especially regardless because they've been mentioning charity the whole time and putting on the facade
regardless of your intentions, what good or not, whether it's selfish or not, again, it doesn't matter. You did hurt your viewers that are upset.
Somebody said it's your delusion. Enjoy it.
Well, that part.
Randy, you're a good man, and Rose is a good woman. I'm sorry. Every time they say that, I'm just like, okay.
Well,
in his eyes,
beauty
and good woman is in the eyes of the beholder. That's good for him.
Well, you have to remember, too, that good people make mistakes, and good people sometimes do bad things.
Rose made a bad choice that doesn't make her bad. I truly believe that she loves you and still does. I believe that you both love each other and care about each other.
Now, it doesn't matter whether it's male or female. When a good man decides to cheat, aka makes a bad decision,
someone said
he's still a good man. However, he has a propensity to keep doing the same mistake over and over again.
Yeah, he's already got another woman coming in.
People are habitual people, aka whether it's male or female, it doesn't matter. Once they perceive something as justified, they will keep doing it. Like there's that old adage: once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah, he's got a woman that he met online that he's just moving on over. That's going to move into the house, and they're all going to be friends.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of.
Ricky,
out
don't
there.
cheat. Yeah, I'm not cheating. If
There's
I'm telling
several
you,
people
hey,
that tell him-
I'm gonna be looking for roast beef tonight.
I
Yeah.
wish you would and just get
I'm
up
gonna look
on
for
out of here because
creamy roast beef.
we ain't even trying to pretend that this is all happy. Now I'm about ready to bust some heads together over there. Now stop.
What's going on here?
They're wound up. It's almost nap time, so they'll wear themselves. Hey guys,
Whoa. Hey.
No, they're gonna mess the internet up. So they've knocked their. We've got like a case that holds all the wires that includes the internet, and the cats are bouncing off of everything. The kittens, they were being good this morning. So, anyways, it is where it is on this, and after we discussed it some more, tried to look to see who the guy was. We just kept seeing the charity work, which I wanted to correct. Yes, they did charity, but they've been telling people how they're together and the baby's coming along and running this channel based on here's my wife and this, and that. I already said yesterday, it definitely appears like they love each other. I watched the videos. I'm not doubting that. And if that is what I'm seeing, to me, it makes it way worse. Seeing how they interact and cry, that's even worse. That means the long con, they fell in love, and then they're sitting there and she did that. It's just there's too much going on. So we'll you want to go through some of the comments first before we start the second story, or that would just confuse by going through the second story.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead. I don't know what to say. How we can't do early comments? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's why
We have a new software, and according to George, we can't go up to the top of the comments.
You don't have to explain.
Well, I am, because I was talking when you released it. I was still talking about it, so I'm just explaining what I'm talking about. But we can't get to some of the comments. So if we don't get to some of your comments, they've already passed through on this new software, the streaming software. But I still like this better than StreamYard.
Cindy G says, "Oh my goodness, I want those glasses, Ricky." Ricky in the house.
They're supposed to be 3D, or they're supposed to be.
You grab them. I don't have them.
I don't know where they are, but yeah. So we have two sets. I don't know where the other ones are, but when you
Right.
open them, they're
Epilepsy warning.
right. It's called Restream. Because, like I said, when I was sick, I didn't renew. I think it was set on PayPal or Gcash, and I didn't load Gcash. I only do that twice a month. That was the problem. It didn't go through. We've been with StreamYard for 3 or 4 years, and when it went to go renew, it was at $50 because we pay monthly. So it went from 25 to 49. I said, hell nah. I mean, we pay probably about $80 a month for storage, for apps, and different things we use for editing when we do our videos. And the music software that we use, actually we have 2 music softwares, and it's like I'm not paying $49 and jumping up by $24. So I told you, or 24. So it's called Restream. So, and it's actually, what was the amount for this each month? The amount, do you remember the cost?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh,
20 or
20.
something. Yeah,
20?
something like that. Yeah, if you pay by the month. So yeah.
Well, technically it matches StreamYard, but StreamYard changes their prices.
Well, I think there are some other things, like we're able to put the QR code up there, and I think,
Well, and it's OBS friendly. For those of you who are not familiar, StreamYard is not OBS friendly. This one is, and what does that mean for you? It means you have more options. AK, for example, if you want to run filters, we could.
yeah. So I'll probably see about signing up, because we signed up for StreamYard. We probably only got like 4 people in 4 or 5 years that clicked on the link, and then they give us a free month. So I'll see about doing that if people want to sign up.
Patricia Flaherty says, I've been working so much. I'm behind on my Philippine drama. I have no idea who. I have no. who that baby is.
And that's another thing. She went and slept with another expat. Another white
There
expat
is
came
no
up in the
excuse,
mountains.
whether it's abuse or whatever, or
So
drinking, or
and she's getting a payment for that too.
or
So,
if the relationship is dead, there is no excuse. You have
Mhm.
to break the relationship first and then do your thing. In fact, like I
yeah,
said,
that's
most
what
of the
should have been
time,
done. They're trying to get
right,
validation.
if your
for-
boyfriend, girlfriend, the healthy time for a breakup is about 3 months that you stay single and then figure out the crap with yourself.
And they're not. They're still living in the same household. He started a new relationship and went through a full excuse situation of why it's not going to end well, especially when that other woman shows up. Oh, we're going to be best friends, and she was carrying on about it, but it's the way it was her blatant disregard during that first video, how she carried on. It was
There's always a waiting period. For instance, when me and my wife divorced, I waited a good 3 seconds. I'm kidding. But anyway, it's a joke.
Mhm. I don't know if it's your hair or this mic making me itchy. It could just be this whole situation. So, anyways, I don't know why everything seems so small these days.
I don't know. But anyway, Victor C.
Hey,
we're the monkeys. There you
People
go.
say we monkey around.
There you
That's where I watched on MTV. I watched the monkeys.
go. The monkeys were on MTV.
Yeah, that's where I couldn't have been 14 or something, and they did the I know they
This
had
was
the
in
Nick at Night.
1818.
Yes.
They had
When I
MTV
took-
in the 1818.
when I took your mom and dad out of the boat.
Right.
We both floated in on that banana boat. Plenty of coconuts and lumpia.
Like Spot says, was it the horny bonobo species?
Yes.
Second one says they're just monkeying around.
Yeah. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Cecile.
What is going on? I can see a lot with these glasses on. These are reading glasses. These aren't prescription. They look like reading, but they're mostly to go with my characters and the wigs and everything else I've been wearing.
Yeah, and they are friends now because they already talked. Wondering if they did an Armstrong asking for 3. Oh, dang.
Well, remember what you were thinking about that I wasn't? That means she was sleeping with both of them. I mean, like literally probably with him because he thought it was his baby still. That means their love did not stop. That means he was still sleeping with her within that period or at the same time.
It's not love at that point. At that point, it's called a backup. You don't want to let go of somebody you have already because you don't know if the
She
one
loves the cream pies
mean,
from the foreign guys.
if you're gonna go after a Chad that's
oh
gonna
my
run
God,
on
that's
you,
a good song. She loves the cream pie from the foreign guys.
Right. Yeah, what I'm saying is that if the woman goes for a Chad
cream pies
and
with
she
the
doesn't
foreign
know if he's
guys
gonna
up in the
stay, which because
mountains.
Chad's just gonna run away from you, kind of like
Whose
Chaz
damn white
does.
baby is this?
You know what I'm saying?
Just because you name him, what does she call him?
Darren.
No, honey pie.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Talking about-
Are you talking about them?
Yes.
Honey pie.
Okay. Well, just because you call him honey pie doesn't mean that he belongs to honey pie.
And it's probably not a really good. I mean, honey pie and honey pot are too close to each other. But anyway, Bobby G says she loves the cream pies for the foreigner guys.
That's what I say.
Patricia Flaherty says I've never been to the Philippines, and even though I know you should never give money. Well, technically you shouldn't. You'd
be surprised how many can.
You shouldn't give money to Filipina unless you personally know them, and I mean in the biblical sense prior to.
And here's the thing, I'm gonna say it. It's definitely because they think they can get in her drawers, or she's gonna strip or do something. Because, I don't know too many channels, and they say it's because I'm jealous as hell. Okay, but when you guys throw $100 stickers to girls that are just sitting in a live stream doing nothing, not even answering, then you're a simp, and you definitely shouldn't be sending large amounts of money. When you haven't even met the person. If you're connecting that hard with a girl, I'm thinking half of them. Like this guy for the 102 or 103,000 US for one surgery, he just sent that money off like that. She had to show some skin, man.
Why? Well, maybe you should go into the story because you're
And
talking about
let
the story
me,
now.
well, I'll get back to it. I said we'll go through and answer some people's questions. We want to clear out the first, what we're talking about. I'm going to tell you the news story, so stick around. But all the point I was trying to get to is the hardcore people that watch our channel for the last 4 years are our true supporters. We get $10 stickers, $20 stickers. And then we got people to help us with bigger items. So basically, the amount of money that is coming in on these channels because they're simping channels and in bikinis is unreal. It's like I can't even.
I mean, what I'm saying is, if you were in their shoes,
Simps ain't gonna give it for poor old Heidi that needs a pizza and George that needs a life-saving surgery.
it's kind of like this. Okay,
And my cat needs a
I'm not talking
life-saving
about anybody in particular or any channel in particular.
jokey.
You guys have to realize that some of these people are selling you a dream that doesn't really exist, but they're selling the dream for a reason.
My puppy needs a surgery. See, nobody loves you, Mary, because you're not in a bikini.
Puggle for sale.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sell our dog just to get pizza.
He's a Shih Tzu Pekingese, so
Feel how warm she feels on her
yeah.
back. Feel her
But
back.
according to AI, it's Puggle.
It's a puggle because we got her haircut. And hi. She's just sitting here.
She's actually the most behaved dog I know.
Yeah, she's really good. Sorry. Okay, you're gonna go through.
Well, I don't know.
That's what I said. Is there any comment? I know, but I only told part of it. If we go through it now, then we're going to be mixing comments. I'd get
Steve
through as
Lopez
much as
says,
possible.
"Love the Kismis." Laura says,
"Oh,
"How
it's
old
not
is this
Christmas,
couple?"
honey. That's the real deal. That's us
Bobby
reporting
G says,
it." And then,
"Vanilla is only for Rose." Chosen one says, "White is right."
I don't think so. I was thinking about that today.
That's hilarious.
But I can see that because, or they at least think there's a happy life. Like nobody white had a bad life.
Bobby G, you're hilarious. Combine age is 107.
You know what ain't right or what might be right? That fight going on in the White House right now.
Dang, Angelo. Old fart with young tarts. You ain't right. That's a little kind of darker in my opinion.
There's
Victor
another
C
song,
says,
Old Fart
could this be
and
referred
Young
as skin tax?
No, there's nobody paying extra because of color.
Working on it says if Randy was smart,
Working maybe.
he would get off the area with Rose and go somewhere with his new girlfriend. Correct. No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's got to get out
Get
because the family
the F
knows.
out of there.
Because they're in public. He's claiming nobody knows. Oh, honey, they do. They broadcast to local people, and there's definitely no way those people in that area within 100 miles don't. That it doesn't mean they're watching. It does broadcast over in her area. So when they do those lives, it's going to catch. We know how the YouTube algorithm works. We have a Google manager. We've been to the headquarters a few times. I'm telling you, it does hit it. They're in disbelief. But most of them are simps. They're probably not real watchers anyways. Hush.
He's hitting Mary Palm and her, 5 sisters.
He probably was anyway. She's been sleeping in another place for a while.
Right.
No soup for you, and I'm telling you, you ain't getting none of that soup.
Sweet Caroline says that the hi guys. Hey, Robbie G says roast beef contains tax. There you go. Ian living in the Philippines says Randy will not listen.
Hey,
they are right. We are all wrong. No, okay. So you have a point there, Ian, and what I'm saying is you have to realize that again, I've said this several times in this channel, not enough. The one thing that I never understood it when I was a kid. My mom used to tell me when I was a kid, son, the hardest thing to do is wake up somebody who's already awake.
Hey, look, this looks like the person that sent us the message. They pinned a message almost the exact that said, get off your high horses and stop judging them. It says here they pinned a message to everyone out there This is on the first video. I have met Rose and Randy, and they're very wonderful people. I'm in with them regardless of their humanity. Life is tough sometimes, and when stuff happens, true friends will show up. Love you both. And it said that people needed to get off their high horse and spend time cleaning up your own affairs and worry about them. Right? But they put it out there. That's the funny thing.
Okay, well, okay. Let's say they did put it out there. The problem is, again, it's still a deception. That's the problem. What I'm saying is, again, I'm not picking on them, but what I'm saying is, think about
Blogging Life left a message next.
thinking about a person that you trust the most, and all of a sudden he hornswoggles you just like this, and then guess what? You're never gonna trust that person again.
No. And well, here's something else I thought about is that he probably knew along the way that he was being hornswoggled from
Okay,
over back
no,
in the US.
he's always known. He
But-
just didn't believe
Which
in
is
it.
a lot of relationships. At some point, there's a little bit where people don't trust each other, which is human. And like
Most cheated guys or girls have a lot of faith in their couples.
yeah. Vlogging Life, which is a big commenter on our channel, left a message 4 hours ago. Way to go. Let's see what you got to say. Vlogging Life that likes to be on Philippine Antics. After 5 days of this, after the initial shock, I feel sad for Randy and cannot condone this kind of thing. Randy, you were cheated and lied to, as well as us and the viewers who look for inspiration in finding a partner. That's what I said. That's why they watch. There you got the simps, like you said. I think it's a 50-50 thing. So you have regular people that are watching too. And it says inspiration in finding a partner and sent money believing in your false narrative. Boom. I wish no bad for anyone. I just can't condone. That's me. This channel is not saying we hate these people. I'm getting tired of it because there's so many of them out there. And when I got here, we were damn near condoned for just being the couple
Well,
that we
the problem
are.
is it's all a bunch of lies.
If either we have friends in common, which makes it even more difficult, but that's why you don't cheat. So no, you're right, man.
There's no right in cheating.
And I think I said in the live stream the other day that I believe that they are both, that they're good people. Let me complete my sentences. I keep doing that. But he said he's cheated on his people before too, which that's where it fell into. He can't be too good of a person if he's cheated. So he was saying, I'm a cheater because she was cheating. So it made her look okay for a minute. He kept defending her in every angle. So
that's a good point. Let's say, okay, for instance, let's say right now, at this split second, your wife cheated on you or your husband cheated on you. That still does not give you the right to cheat.
Somebody here.
Let's say your husband or your wife beat you to a pulp. That still does not give you the right to cheat.
Oh, snap.
Two wrongs does not make a right, as they always say. And this is not a judgment thing. This is a fact. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that somebody broke in your house that gives you the right to break into their house. See, try that. See if how that works out for you. Two wrongs does not make a right.
Here's somebody a day ago saying she wanted another baby.
No, it's
I think
fine
she's got kids.
if she wants to have another baby. That's fine. Then break it off with Randy, because obviously, according to Randy, he probably couldn't produce any more. It's best to break it off and move on.
Oh shit, that drunken slug makes gringos look foolish. Locals are going to talk and laugh about this guy for years. Randy, you need to get off that mountain.
Actually, I was going to say he needs to get off that area because he's pegged.
And
he's pegged.
Yeah, I'm going to let you know they're going to see you as weak
They know
as
you,
possible.
Randy. Trust me.
And I think they've known for a while. Let me tell you about living in foreign countries with foreign languages and people.
And you're foreign. You're white.
When I was in Egypt, all kinds of crap was said, and I did nothing wrong.
Right.
I was a slave to my husband, and I was very, very nice. and they still gonna talk. They still gonna make things
No,
up, and
they
they've
know you.
been
You're pegged.
talking. You
You're
pegged,
pegged.
man. I'm just
Um,
letting you know that it's, you know,
tell you how bad the Philippines is. Put it this way: I'm Filipino, and guess what? If I'm somewhere in this area within a mile or two, they know me.
oh shit,
So
this must be somebody that they know. It said that he's a drunken slug. The next one says, Rose, you need to kick that dummy out. This person's telling Rose to kick him out. You don't need him anymore. The whole village knows, and they're laughing at you right now. That's an inside track. That's not.
okay,
Oh,
again,
snap.
that's still another point that yes, let's say that actually
You're a bunch of
we should probably
simps.
go into the circus. It's actually somewhat related.
All right. 1 second. I'm just reading this up. Yeah, they're saying that he's just.
Regardless of your reason, again, whether your spouse is abusive or useless, well, you know what I mean by useless. Point being is you should
Oh.
break it off
I'm going
and
to
then
read
move
one
on.
more. Okay. To all the men out there, okay, thinking of being with a Filipina, first off, never, I repeat, never build a house on their land in their name
No.
and do that much work. So what
No.
they say he was out 25 and like 15,000.
Well, according
So we're talking
to
40,000.
our viewers, 15.
Okay. US dollar. So he's out 50,000 and she already had a base place set up. He just added to it. But yeah, don't do it. Women will do stuff behind you here. I've dated from all walks of life in the Philippines. This woman, Randy, is a typical POS type of woman that you do not want here. And Randy made too many mistakes. Like I said, he knew along the way. I think he felt desperate, like he didn't have anything left in the US. He's in a foreign country. He's got too much invested, and he really loves her. So she was probably cooking, cleaning, and cleaning that whistle at the same time. And she just kept it on going and everything else. So it says here that and he made many mistakes. I see this all the time with men, and just to be damn desperate for love and do a lot of stupid stuff, and they lose their ass in the very end. I'm telling you, this happens a lot, guys. A lot. A lot of men are doing this, and a lot of Filipinas know about it, and they're just gaming the guys here for gain. Don't let it happen. Just have fun. And it says live your life to the fullest. So, no, I would agree. We see, and it just, since the pandemic and the country reopened, he came right after the pandemic, like thirsty, man, like really thirsty. And was there some good intention, were things working out and everything? Sure. I believe there was something there because they do seem to care. I'm not saying it was a total sham, but they should have told people in advance. They'd have stopped sending money. They'd have stopped sending stuff for the charity. They'd have stopped sending gifts to her. She was receiving stuff and talking about it. And that's the whole point. It's not saying people can't make money or get all that stupid sticker money for just sitting there and doing simp stuff. Understand what you're getting into at that point when you're giving away that type of money.
I mean, in Rose and Randy aren't stupid. What I'm saying is they knew better. They knew the moment they said something, it would break the fantasy, and they would lose some, or rather, most of their subscribers that actually watch them.
Yeah.
And their contributors. They're not stupid. They know what we're doing.
Yeah. So now,
regardless of reason.
Yeah, all of it's done. So whatever they built, I think they built a basketball court. They built a whole bunch. Now it's all done. The baby's got all of its stuff, tons of stuff. I mean, she has a lot of extra crap she showed that she's got for the baby. Yeah, she's kind of at, there's a breaking point. But let me add in this second couple that we got an email about, and then we'll continue with the comments because it's similar. So being we're talking about men where it went too far, we had received this email. It said, hey, George, Ricky, my man, I seen your live, which you're talking about, American man and Filipino wife, and that was some crazy crap. This will be right up your alley. It was an online romance, a YouTuber. It's how they wrote it. YouTube career for one American guy living in or going to Mindanao. The guy's name is Maddie. He's 62 and his woman is 24. Her name is Rosalie. I said it was Rose, but Rosalie. And they only knew each other for 2 months. He sold everything and took the kids, like he had been saving money for an inheritance, had an insurance policy that he canceled and everything. So it looks like he got the money back for that, sold the house, but they'd only known each other, for a short period, beside when he says, hey, I'm going to come move to the Philippines. So he then did all of that, sold everything, and came over. Okay. This is the kids. He had a wife that it says here that he was with her, bought a house, and it was both of them worked and paid it out. So I'm sure the wife wanted the kids to have some of that as an inheritance. Think about it. So his ex-wife had passed away, or his wife, it's his dead wife. It says here that his wife died of cancer 2 years before that. So he's another level of thirsty. So he took all of the stuff they built together and he's thrown it into a new Filipina. That's, what kind of age gap is that? Almost, wow, that's almost a 40-year age gap. That's 38 years, 62 and 24. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a young tuna hole.
Uh-huh. All right. So they got together and they've been married now for a year. He came on over. They stayed at a 38-year age gap. He mentioned how old it was for him. A retired construction manager in Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines.
Okay. First set foot in the Philippines. Okay, so when he did, and they've been married for a year now, he called it unconditional love. He first sent her a staggering amount a while back of $103,000 US. And this was to pay for what she claimed was schooling. She had to pay for urgent medical care of her parents and to clear what she claimed was debt. Said he had aggressive lung cancer and needed also a kidney transplant. What kind? Is this even real? Then it said here that she had some, what they actually call it? There's something they called that. He wanted to be their hero. He was a simp. However, arriving to the remote village in Zamboanga City, they stayed in a hotel for 6 days. She provided the marriage papers. So he was only officially there. They've been together for a year as of right now. But for 6 days, he was up in that hotel. God knows what she did to him. Probably did a running on him. Provided papers, and they went to where she set up to have him married and be in front of somebody to get married.
Now,
Reality far is different than Rosalie had told them. Rosalie's parents are more than fine. He got to meet him after they claimed they were married. Went to the village. Now they have some sort of YouTube channel. I'm just reading through this. It's a long writing. Trying to get to because we went through this morning already. Family friction, family problems. So I guess he got out to where they were living, and you're going to deal with that. You're going to deal where there's going to be family confrontations. Wow. You're paying for other people's problems. You're getting in the middle of them, and different emergencies. It's a cultural thing. Stressed Christian. Okay, he was stressed. It's called, what is Utang Nalub? A debt of gratitude.
Yeah.
What is that?
Just said it.
Okay. Feels like I'm paying off the national debt of this small country. Okay, so it shows he's doing a YouTube channel, which we couldn't find, but he refuses to leave the Philippines. He's currently residing in a small rented room near the town, probably to be near her, continuing to document his life. Why didn't they give us the name of the channel? Diary, a plea. He's kind of pleading for help. It's kind of like that one,
Okay.
like what's his name? But that's the basis.
Right. Utang na loob. Okay, utang na loob.
He's still footing the bill.
It's
for the
like,
family, and he has not left. He also doesn't believe that they're married. I don't believe they're married, but that's another situation going
yeah.
on.
Utang na loob is, I guess, the American equivalent. It's not a real equivalent. It's like a favor. What I'm saying is the difference is debt of gratitude. What that means is, for example, a random, well, not necessarily random, a Filipino would walk up to you. Utang na loob man, pwedeng pahiram ng 1,000. So, um, debt of gratitude, could you please lend me 1,000 pesos?
Uh,
Okay, what does that mean? It means, for example, if you, I said big giant if, okay, because most, see, here's the thing. There's a difference between back then in the old times and the new times. You know, word of honor. Okay, utang na loob is technically based on word of honor, meaning utang na loob man, pahiram ng 1,000. So they're saying for 1,000 pesos, I owe you a future debt. So that means is in the future, you give him that 1,000 pesos now. When you call him, hey, Jose, I need you. I need you to do this for me. No, man, I can't do it because, I'm kind of busy. That's not how it works. What I'm saying is, like the old days, word of honor, when you call him, hey, Jose, I need you. I need you to do this for me. Okay, I'll do it right now because I owe you a, a debt of honor. I
So
owe you
back
a
in the
debt of
day-
gratitude.
Mhm.
Back then, it actually carried weight.
Now they just
Now they
someone
just
will
say it
ask-
just to say it. Oh, hey, utang na loob man, can you give me this? Well, yeah,
we get-
sure, here you go.
yeah.
But are you going to pay me back? Odds are they're not going to pay you back in money. Odds are they're
Mhm.
not going to pay you back in kind.
And
It's-
this does happen.
It's kind of the only people who pay this debt of gratitude or debt of honor are the ones you actually knew and grew up with, because these are the ones that are solid. If it's kind of like old friends, the solid ones, so to speak.
I want to put, like I said, it's hard. We haven't figured. This doesn't let us put the stickers up, but I'm going to. Bobby G, thank you for the $5. He says Randy's ex-girlfriend is in a stream right now, or so she says. Are we talking about her, Rose? Because I don't see on
Prob-
that channel, or is it the other channel?
Oh, I no, probably, I don't know.
Yeah. So what's the name of the other channel? Because I couldn't find it again.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I know it's called the Country Farm Life Vlog. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't find it. I tried to go in the live stream and look for it. So I don't see. But and then Jen did a sticker for the pets. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you so much. Now I can get a bird on top of everything. I was thinking about getting a bird, but that's probably pretty dangerous. I was feeling George makes me feel lonely, so need a bird.
I actually have bird feed in the car.
Yeah, I know that you feed everybody.
No, I do. I do have
Hey, Vlogging Life.
feed random birds.
Ah, there he is. Vlogging Life said, I gave money for the school, kids, and the baby. No, I'm sure a lot of people did. Because if they weren't being in the simplified, I can get me a younger woman, beautiful wife, she'll run this pig farm and she'll do all this hard work situation, then there were people that are into the channel. I mean, it's, we have all types for our channel. It really is. But I'm sure by looking at the way they were bringing in the viewers, it was based on their wholesome relationship, but they slid into that, situation. But no, that's the first thing I said besides her being a cheater, and I just think it's the worst of the worst. Get out of the relationship, move on. Same with him. You can't hang on the property and take on this new girlfriend and not expect hellfire up in the mountains of the Philippines. It just, I'm telling you, it's a disaster. And then this guy just got conned all the way around for kidney issues. 100, what does that equal out? That's a lot of freaking money. When we get the people that we see on Rafi Tufo, what is it, 20, 30,000 US?
Right.
He wasted his kids' inheritance, sold everything, and he's got money and he's here, but that stuff is dwindling. And he looks like he just did. He's at the age of Social Security at that age. It's just crazy.
Right. And be aware again, and I'm not defending nor attacking cheaters.
Hey, Bobby G's at
I'm
number
just letting
one.
you know the
Hey,
science of it.
chosen one.
What I'm saying is, for the most part, cheaters feel they are justified. Okay. And I'm not defending nor attacking them. Cheaters will always feel justified. They think that what they're doing is okay because,
Yeah.
you know, X did this, therefore I can do this. You know, that kind of deal. You have to remember too that the big problem with cheaters again is it's beyond the cheating. And you're like, what are you talking about? It's not just the cheating. No, when a cheater's a cheater, one, they have communication problems. Why they have communication problems? It's because the fact that they have done said acts and they're justified, they don't realize that they don't actually communicate what the issue is in the first place or communicate it properly. AKA, for instance, regardless of whatever the cheater's excuse is, in this case, for example, well, I can't, I want to have a kid, you know, and oh, he doesn't want to. Well, I talked to him, he still doesn't want to. Well, guess what? Then you have to communicate with him. Well, then it's over. They're never going to own up to it, regardless of whatever happened. They will. Cheaters will never own up to what they have done, and that's why cheaters are
Not
the
all
worst.
of it, anyway. She's only doing it because she got caught.
Well, correct. What I'm saying is, it
She
doesn't.
knew there was a
It doesn't
DNA
matter
test coming.
what the reason is. Wrong is wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right, and they will never own up to it. Therefore, you can never trust a cheater. Cheaters are the ones that will actually smile in your face, and even though they hate you, that's the one good thing about Heidi, is because if she hates you, she'll tell you.
I'll nag him to death, man, but I'm gonna cook his dinner.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna keep on pushing.
This is face
on.
value, and you have to appreciate face value
You can't
versus
stop this
one
trend.
that hide a knife behind their backs. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
I'm a very open book, so you know I can only, and usually I'm almost always right, but not always right. So in other words, I'm one of those people since a kid where if there was dirt on my mom's friend, like on her pants, I would say you got dirt all over your pants. Like I was like always pointing stuff out or being open about it. I want to say I'm going to go through the conversation here. Allegedly, we have somebody that a few people in the room that knows them. They're saying here, Rosa said that I'm Randy's brother's partner, and I have been friends with Cecil. I don't know who the hell Cicely is since she was with Randy. Randy. Anyways. I stayed friends. I was just trying to figure out the dynamic. I stayed friends with her because she needed a friend, so we still keep in touch. Hi, Cecily, I'm here too. You are not alone, my friend. But it's the same person typing this. And then they come back and said Randy is 68 and Rose is 43. No, we know that we said 30, but that's funny. Somebody came up in the room trying to point out their age thing. And we get that. It's still a large age gap. So that's kind of, but I corrected at the beginning, but I don't understand what they're talking about in here. Yeah, saying brother. So I don't know. And then lack of spots said something about, do you have a question for me? Talking to Cecily. Okay, they're just talking about calling each other. You can go ahead and start going through. I'm just trying to figure out the other conversation while I'm doing this. You can go on. You okay? What?
Yeah, you're talking. I mean, I'm not going to interrupt. Paul says she explained why she lives in the other house. She said the other house has slippery tires and the other one has a rough one. That's another excuse.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know any woman in this freaking world
And
who
she shouldn't have
moves
had a
out,
baby.
out of their house because
Because of
there's
tiles.
tiles. Correct. I mean, come on. You've never heard of, other stuff? I mean,
She basically was saying, like I said, that he smokes and that she doesn't want it around the baby. And I was sniffing lead paint in the 70s. Get over it, lady. You got a lot more things to worry about than moving up out of house. You've been out because you're a cheater. That's why you've been up out of there.
sorry, I'd hate to say this. I agree with Heidi. That sounds like a setup.
Lead paint and eating gray icicles off the back of semi trucks since I was 3.
You can give the excuse all you want. It doesn't make sense to a logical person because I have
She's been in that place.
guys.
For,
Most of you guys in the chat are around past 50, probably even 70. Have you guys heard of that? Some pregnant woman moving out because of the tiles? I have never heard of it in my entire life.
That's better. Now
Know
I
what I'm
got like
saying?
a Tina T.
Have you heard of that in your entire life?
No, but check it out. That's a better look.
Somebody in the chat, at least one, tell me,
Okay.
please. Somebody moved out because they were pregnant and there were tiles. Somebody in the chat right now. All right.
I was pregnant.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Daughter was about 14 months old, and I was about 7, 8 months pregnant, and I was in a homeless shelter and still stayed there while kids were biting on my daughter, and there were roaches on the floor, and I head lice going around and everything else. And of course, I still better than the streets.
Yeah. Ted says
Choosers can't, or beggars can't be choosers when it comes to. But I guess and when did they build that? Was that always on the property, or is that something
like
he
Ted
paid
says,
for? Did she do it
they
in
make
advance?
stuff that you can put on top to make it non-stick. Even those, no. That's the thing. You work things out, and that's the issue with this couple. They never worked anything out.
Well,
It's all on avoidance. It's a Filipino thing. Trust me. Right, Heidi?
insensitive prick.
So Ian living in
I'm
the
a
Philippines
bitch,
says
and he's an insensitive prick.
they both
That's,
cheated all the subscribers 5 years long.
Hey George, you're an insensitive prick, and I'm a bitch, but we still together.
There you go.
like
like
Living
a spot says,
Colors,
"Oh my
and I
gosh,
think they're called
Ube
Millers."
donuts." Yes, I can't wait to eat them.
Now,
No,
now,
no. Well, you can have one.
let me have one.
Yeah. No, Ube donuts. Here they are. They're
Fat, chunky, and
They're
proud of
purple.
it. But I do fast about 12, 14 hours a day, so this is my eating window.
wait, what?
I need to get off
Did
the
one of them
sugar.
slide? Yeah, one of them slid.
That's all
Yeah.
you got?
Today is National Donut Day, according to the girl, and she gave me two free donuts. All right.
Oh,
So
no,
anyway,
I can't. Nobody can see. I'm here.
Hey, where is it?
Yeah.
Ube donut. How is it?
I'm gonna give her something to talk about.
Well,
It's okay.
yeah, I've never had one, so I wouldn't know.
It's really good.
Working on it
my
says
best life.
that's like throwing a hot dog down the hall. Hot dog down the hallway.
Oh my
Hot
god.
dog down the hallway.
Now, what was the name of that song?
Hmm?
Hot dog loose in a hallway.
Oh yeah.
We actually have a song.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, creamy roast beef and a hot dog down the hallway. Yep, that's how it works. It is. Chizima says she got that good stuff. That snapper.
Hey,
Oh
Jen.
dang, that's snapper, huh? Yeah. Second one says, is it beef and cheddar? Yes, Arby's. You don't go to Arby's unless you get the beef and cheddar. That's the thing. Bobby G says that's primo brown snapper. Some dark brown snapper. Curtis says, good morning, gang, from Cloudy Zamboanga.
Cheater is a cheater. And then she had the nerve to post recently about taking her son to church and putting the son's name as part. Like, his name is up front. She's so freaking proud of what she's done. AKA the new white baby of the Caucasus Mountain over there in the Philippines. That she actually called the channel Alexander.
Regardless of the source of the baby, a baby should be something to be proud of.
No.
A mother will always be proud of the son, regardless of source or anything. And she should be.
If that was me and that was mine, that's 6'7", I'm like, shame, man.
What, you're gonna have the baby living in the attic or something?
I don't know. Probably in the room that we got for rent. That's where I put in.
Oh, in the Harry Potter room.
hmm We got this small room that we have a video where we put the dog and said we were renting out the room. That's Scott's rental
The
room.
Harry Potter room. Harry Potter room. There you go.
It's like enough. I don't know what he can fit in there, but we set it up and we had the dog security.
Listen, son, you're not really our son. You're adopted.
No, a baby is a baby. It is a blessing. I'm just kind of, but to me, it's totally erased when it's in sin and she's already married to somebody else, and everything they've been living on has been a mountain of lies. That's just where I am. If people want to run around and make kids everywhere, not, it's just bad. It is
Okay,
bad.
I understand the need to hide it from the family and all of that. However, you guys do realize that makes it worse.
Yeah, because the family probably bought her a bunch of shit too.
What I'm saying is hiding the truth.
That means she's lying to them too. So add that to the.
She lied to her family technically.
I mean, they're probably going to buy stuff for.
Well, it's not about buying. It's called deception, which means again untrustworthiness.
Oh,
these are untrustworthy traits.
Gotcha, Bobby. Bobby says that Cicely is Randy's ex, and her friend Rosa both know Randy's last one here, guys. LOL, get the dish. Rosa both knows Randy. Last one here, guys. Get the dish. All right, so okay, so you're in the room. What's up? What's up? So what's going on if you know the inside? That's what I'm trying to. Okay, so you're saying you are the ex. So where's Cicely? Cicely is from Manila, and I'm from Minnesota. Rosemarie blocked me from her channel. Oh shit, her name's Rosemarie too, like this other woman? What's up? What's up with the Rosemarie stuff? All right, so
What's up with Randy?
yeah, what's up with Randy? I know that bitch ain't innocent. I just get a gut feeling. He flat out said he cheated on her just to add to make her look better. A den of sin.
I'm just picking on you, Randy. Not really serious about this.
Oh, I am, honey. Oh, I am. I know.
We
Sorry.
don't know Randy enough. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sure. I get like gut feeling, man. I ran the Ouija board last night, the tarot cards, asked AI, everything else. They were trying to spill
Okay,
the
Randy,
tea.
if you're in the room, just so you know, we were talking about a real scumbag, not you. So I'm just saying there was a previous real scumbag.
Oh, okay. You're talking about that other Randy. I was still talking about them all.
You can't just say that. Just
I can because I'm not in a bikini.
They're the same
and I don't have a
namesake.
large age gap relationship getting $50 stickers
Look. Okay.
to pay for my air conditioning. So I can say whatever I want at $200.
Now, this Rose, okay.
And it's not even my money.
She cheated.
If I was getting that money and it was in my personal bank account, I would have used it all on
What I'm
pizza.
saying is this Rose cheated. The other Rose scammed. And then the other Rose hosed down her husband on the patio.
Oh,
not
shit.
the same roses. It doesn't mean
every
that
rose
they're all
has a thorn.
Correct. Every rose has a thorn. Everybody has their shtick.
By the way, I just want to let you guys know that Christmas is right around the corner. We start that July crap next month in decoration, and then it's less than 90 days before we're rocking Christmas again.
That being said, guys, watch out for Filipinas named Rose, because apparently either you'll get hosed down in your patio.
Somebody said, "Spill the tea, Mars."
Or you get,
Mars
again, get scammed or get cheated on again. So pick your poison, I guess.
No, her name is Rosa, sister-in-law. I don't get that.
Like a spot says, baby, it. What the freak is this?
It says here, Black Grandpa, real quick. He says, if you're an expat, avoid all females with the name Rose in it.
There it is.
It's just a very bad omen.
Right. Like a spot says, the baby's ginormous. Can't find no videos with No, the videos are gone. Old Myth
And
still got
here's
it.
another thing. I don't know how we're allowed 10 people in the live
Good morning,
stream.
Mayo.
Hey, good morning.
Can't find the ones with
Well, that's
Rusty.
kind of weird. They
though.
got the word admin inside of there.
Working on it says never got involved with a married lady, regardless of how pretty she is. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's another lesson. Don't hook up
Thank
with
you.
a Filipina that's married.
That's
That
another
guy
thing.
could turn on you in 2.2 seconds.
You don't mess with somebody who has somebody. Forget if they're married. Forget if they're a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a lady boy on the side. Who cares? If they have somebody, they have somebody. Leave them the frick alone. The ones that don't leave them alone either are freaking scumbags.
Real quick, whoever this Cecily is that says they know whatever, why do you keep insisting on calling Lackaspod instead? They're saying that she needs to call in, meaning come on to the live stream, but why are you insisting on speaking to Lackaspod though?
It's probably something personal. Lucka says,
Well,
who this scammer this time? There you go.
Well, we just got the message within the last 24 hours on the other one, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Rosa is the sister of Randy.
Yeah. Second one says, well, it was just another sad single Filipino mom with a child and no dad. There you go. So the one says, I feel so bad for these guys. They just don't know how to play the game accordingly.
You know what? She'd have done a lot better just not having anybody.
Good morning,
there at
Cecile.
all, yeah, that's the one that they're saying. That's the
Angelo
one.
says 8 years gap. That's not the news story you're talking about.
Yeah, there's two people in her that's going back and forth saying that they've got contact or know the person.
Yeah, chosen one says I'm a player from the Himalayas. No time for Filipino shenanigans.
Right, I deal with that all the time. Shenanigans.
Yeah, working on it. 10-year age gap is yes. 10 years is a good plus or minus, and the reason being because again, what is the odds of you dating somebody your same age?
That needed a baby, right? If he'd have been with a woman within 10, 15 years, she should
have started that in the first place.
You don't. He would have. Here's the thing, son. You would have avoided this all the way around if there was a 10 or 15-year age gap, not a 25-year age gap. Rarely does a woman over the age of 40 or 50 have a kid. And see what I mean? If he'd have been dating somebody he'd have avoided this all. If you just would have listened to one of these channels that said that. If you'd have listened to Sunshine Shoulders about that crap, you wouldn't have. Who knows? Cinemar. Yeah, but they can get fake Cinemars. I think they're indicating about the Cinemar. You can ask for Cinemars, but those are the easiest ones fake. Like the guy that was up in the hotel. You have to provide that when you guys go and get married. But if he doesn't know the laws and didn't look up the laws, she brings the paperwork. He gives her. You know how many guys give their women the money and just say, hey, go take care of it here? And that's crazy.
Yeah, Bobby G, mine's 15-year age gap. I got mine. Got me a good one. Thank God for traditional SF. And a great mother and has her own money. There you go.
And didn't I see something about...
Kurt says, I love Thailand and people and food, and things average about third more expensive than... No, it's usually more expensive over there, yes. Yes, and Japan, forget it. It's about double. Second one says, I have a younger honey and live in the country, and I'm not jealous at all. There you go. Oh, Tommy Boy, good point. Paramour. That's a good word, paramour. Bobby G says, them guys just missing Randy's butt. So they go visit and hopefully get a run down the roast beef mountain too. There you go.
Hell no.
Anthony says, me and my older son both married a Filipino. My wife's been in USA for 11 years.
Did you see this? That she dealt with the papers. I'm reading back on the email of that other couple. It says here that she told him that it was 28,000 pesos for one lechon pig in Mindanao. 28,000. That's some pig. And it was 96,000 pesos for the additional food of 30 people.
Well, I have to look at the size of the pig. Yes, it could,
28 would be a little bit. That must be some
28
pig.
could be. Yeah, it's possible. However, this has to be one of the biggest pig you can find. Yes.
Basically, he's got to be my size.
Um,
Per kilo, it's X amount
not
of
joking.
money.
Yeah, comparable. Yes.
Because I think I tried to look that up. He's
Yeah.
got to be.
Can you
real
pay up to
some pig.
30,000?
He
Yes.
must be,
Yes. Easy. Yeah, it's possible. But again,
in Mindanao. on
it
top
has
of
to be
that?
a big,
Yeah, I don't
big
see. I
pig.
thought I wrote that down.
I mean, put it this way.
Checking the cost.
For those of you wondering, that's not normal. Even Candy Palace, actually, our Philippine Journey is in the house. Our Philippine Journey has seen that pig on the table on New Year's Day,
Yeah, they
and
do
that's
that.
only about a 10,000 peso pig. What I'm saying is, if a good place refuses to pay any higher than
But that
10,000,
means she scammed. She was scamming him for sure.
well,
so
that's what I'm saying.
100
Even a good establishment refused to buy
so what's 125?
anything higher than a 10,000 peso pig. That's what I'm saying. Do they exist? Yes, but very unlikely. Very, very unlikely.
All right, so yeah, that means she spent about $2,800 for 25 people at a party. That is some goddamn party.
Now it's possible that's 28,000 for the whole shebang.
No, it's
not just the pig.
no. There's two amounts here.
I understand. I'm just explaining again the benchmark.
I get that, but they separated the amounts.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying is 20,000 is the whole shebang, not just the pig. Is it possible? Yes, but odds are no.
They said they spent
I'm no. I'm just saying.
two amounts. The pig was 28,000,
Right.
and the other food
20,000
was 96,000 pesos.
A 20,000 pig
Goddamn
is
party for 25
it's
people in the
human-sized pig.
Philippines.
Like yes, is it
I mean,
possible?
I guess so. They probably had caviar and champagne.
But it's a
or something.
human-sized pig. Yes.
And they tend to have small
Yeah.
pigs.
Alfonso
too.
says, "Is that what happened, Chef Dubs and Anne in Angel City?" Chef Dubs C just announced on live that he and Anne are going separate ways. Sort of
yeah.
sad. Yes.
We see that coming.
That's unfortunately.
Very unfortunate. I like
it
that couple.
happens, but you know.
Yeah, we've watched them for quite some time, even met with them. And
Yeah.
Sad, but with everything going on in her life, and she's also a single mother, and I know he's got issues, and it's not, very sad.
Yeah, Simon says respect my privacy and watch my public posting. Exactly. That's the problem that these people have. It's somewhat like it's an entitlement thing where they think that they can post something and not expect people to react.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so
but
if there are things that we have said on the live and mentioned our personal business, and then somebody comes out, that's different. When you go digging and looking for backgrounds and mentioning somebody having a speeding ticket for some time ago, or you're digging at family members, that is a difference. So we always said that anything that we've publicly said or mentioned about our lives, and then later I'll say, well, it's none of people's business that I worked at Home Shopping or met certain celebrities or said I was bragging, and then they rag on me, which they have, then that's my fault for mentioning that I did know these people and that I've met them and knew them at the television studio. That's my fault. So I get that, and I deserve that for mentioning my nursing career and all of that. And I used to get upset because the same few people, which we're pretty sure we know who they are, keep sending the same emails about the same stuff, or me talking about my weight issues or all that. I deserve any of that. But when you go digging into family member like other people, then that's a little different.
Well,
so
if you go doxing, that's different.
Correct. It's doxing. So when you go, then that's where I have problems. So if we dox them and looked up his background and seen he was arrested
we never
10
do.
times,
We never dox anybody.
we get other information sent to us that have backgrounds and all that we didn't personally do. We always say, hey, this came in by email, this came from that, and that's how it actually happens. But so if we went that far and looked her background up and hunted down her OFW job and where it came from, and we went fully into it, and then did that stuff she didn't mention that we didn't know, then I could see where they could say, hey, mind your business. But this is all stuff they've been talking about.
Correct. Time Boy says Chubb Stubbs' girlfriend's a bar girl.
Well,
Oh dang. Joe says age gap doesn't matter as long as we get all your money. Come one, come old. There you go. Bobby G says I get it now. Where there are at the mountains, bukakis, and sharing is caring. So in that case, they are great,
Symptom is not
loving,
easy.
caring, faithful. Oh my gosh, you ain't right. You ain't right. Time Boy says no fool like an old fool. What? Today? It is. Today's June 7th. Victor C says National Dive Bar Day, June 7th, USA. Woohoo! Dive bars. I hate to say this, but I'm actually not a dive bar guy. I actually go to high class bars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now I do. I wouldn't call them real dive bars like in Ohio.
Heidi's a dive bar.
Well, we're talking about in the 80s. We're not talking about something broken down like here where they're giving hand jobs under the table with hands that haven't been washed in 8 days.
Yeah,
We're not talking about that type of
I go to
bar.
those
We're talking
bars
pool table,
where they bring you the drink, and if you
beer.
want a sub from Subway, they'll go get it for you.
No, I'm just talking about like biker bars or stuff, that are out in Daytona. But I wouldn't even call some of them.
I'm not gonna lie. That's where I meet the high quality women. I know it's a bar, but it's not a bar for everybody.
Sure.
Oh no, they know me there. I walk in there, they're like, "Oh, hey, George, hey." It's like Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
We did the same thing.
Yeah, the reason why is because these are not everybody goes there. It's not for everybody. That's why. And actually, a few doors down is the cigar bar. That tells you the area where I usually hang out, because most people don't.
You didn't see that, right?
No.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Most normal people don't go to cigar bars, so that tells you the place I frequent. And then right down the road, some of you know what I'm talking about, is Harry's, and Harry's is also a very good restaurant. It's kind of like the Red Lobster in that area. Some of you know what area I'm talking about, and if you say Orlando or Sarasota or something like that, then no, we're not talking about that area either. Big Boss Hoss says it's the height of the stupidity to air their dirty laundry in public forum. They say it's nobody's business. Good for you.
And here's another thing I learned a long time ago. When it comes to trolls, which is a large percentage of the entire internet, that's fine. Do what you got to do. There's good trolls, there's bad trolls. But when you put that out and you actually say it's one thing, and I've learned just being on the internet can produce people to go through your content, critique it, dog you, talk about your personal features, Heidi's too fat or hair's too dry. I can kind of accept that level too. That's the doxing thing,
Yeah, and that's another thing.
Which go ahead and do your best.
Here's the thing.
I don't even care about that anymore.
They've been on YouTube long enough to know better. What I'm saying is,
we were here
regardless of how perfect your life is, regardless of what content you produce. I mean, I'm not making this up. If you do crochet and that's your channel, you have trolls. Point being, if you have a gardening channel and that's all you do on your channel, you have trolls. Trolls are there. Trolls are everywhere. And these people have been on the internet long enough to know you're going to have trolls. Chosen One says expats in the Philippines can't get it right. Second one says, you make a Diddy sandwich. There you go. Living in the West says, hello, awesome couple. Your new subscriber. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. And that's another thing. Right. If you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the channel. Making the comments help everything.
Anthony Bourdain says, money for nothing and the chicks for free. There you go. I want my Filipina. There you go. Bobby G says, yeah, she is Randy's ex because He said he never been with one before Rose, so new secret of girlfriend now in the mix.
Well, he said there was somebody before. He came to Manila first before he went. Didn't he? Did he go back home? Because he told his story. So he was in Manila pre-pandemic, or did he come here with the opening and seen somebody first, and then?
No, he was in. Okay, for those of you who are not aware, Randy was in Manila during
There was
the
another-
pandemic.
Okay, so there was another woman in that area.
Well, yeah, but he, again, the
Oh,
reason why he broke up with her is because Randy wanted to live in a province, and she's a city girl, and she's like, hell no, I'm already
That's what he
here
said.
in, in the city. Why the hell would I move in the province?
Yeah, so that's what he said. Yes. So are you that person though? That's what I'm trying to figure out now.
Yeah. No, that's Bobby.
I know that. There's two people in there swirling around that they're the ex. I'm wondering if that's the ex.
Oh,
She's
I don't know.
Filipina in the photo.
Picture for life says chat on Walking Dead Street. There you
Yes.
go. Rose says.
I mean, there's it. I'm actually
Randy
not
68, Rose
surprised because
43.
the rumors forever said that, and we're like, well, okay, until that's substantiated. And then she did work at that bar and another bar, and they said that's what she was, but that probably didn't contribute to why they're breaking up. We met her; she seems to be a nice girl, but it's just no surprise being in that area and the type of logging and the life they're living that they didn't break up. She's also a single mother, and that can cause issues too. Raising kids that aren't yours causes another level of stress in a relationship. There's so many things going on that could be the possibility, but they seem like they were getting along. Yeah, this Rosa is the one who claims to be.
I hate to say it, but second win, I can see you actually owning a stripper money gun. But anyway. What? Which one is it?
Did you?
Skipping.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Marion, how you doing?
Yeah, she's a new member, so you can't see it, but yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much again, Bobby G. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah, that's another thing. Does this show who's members and who's not?
No, I told you that. No.
Well, dude.
Oh, dang, like a spawn. All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow, boy.
Yeah, I was singing it yesterday.
Right, and then
the other
what do you
day.
call that? What's the other one? Is it
Like a virgin?
No. Dang, there's another song about that where anyway. Yes. Black Grandpa says, I'm wondering if Rose truly knows who the father is. She could have been running wild on those months. Well, that is a valid question. I mean, I hate to
How
say
many white
this.
dudes are out there?
It's a valid question. And I understand that if Rose is watching, she's like, oh, I've never done. I get that. But you have to remember that
it's a question.
Everything that comes out of your mouth at this point is invalid to most people because they're not going to believe you because you obviously said something deceitful before or, made people believe something else. So therefore, anything that comes out of your mouth is somewhat, I don't know. Anyway, again, that's nothing to do with me. I'm talking about basic psychology here.
Yeah. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Yeah. I mean.
Logging Life says he spent his money to her during COVID and came here after the expectation to live out his life. Speaking of spending money, there's the other theory that another viewer mentioned to us. Is it possible that Rose decides to jump ship because the ship is out of gas?
Oh, yeah.
Is it possible that she decided to jump ship because the ship is out of money?
Because if he had enough money to float that boat somewhere else with his new skipper that's on board, then he would probably be going.
Is it like a locust plague that jumps from one grassy field,
how much?
decimates it, and then moves on to the next?
Supposedly he's only getting $850 a month. I don't even see how they're even living out there. I don't even see how they get by.
Right.
He spends a lot. He's showing himself getting
See,
packages
see,
and
that's the
stuff.
thing. There was a
She's got
lot of money
computers and
spent.
equipment
Right.
and all that. I'm just curious if they were getting support from other people. That YouTube channel ain't making that much. I promise you on that, unless it's all coming in
No, no,
through
no.
PayPal and all that.
Well,
It
yeah, no,
doesn't-
the channel itself isn't making money.
So I'm just curious.
There's money coming in somewhere else, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about like Filipina P thousands and thousands, but it's still not enough to. But yeah, I'm just curious.
Right, and that's why I'm saying is it possible that since the ship is out of fuel, it's well, it was fun while it lasted. Sorry, buddy. Time to move on. Remember that, guys and girls. This is not just for guys being ripped off of their money. That also applies to women ripped off their money. You know,
I don't even see how to actually invite people in. That's something we're gonna have to work on. We haven't did that in a while.
Logging Life says they have a time lapse before they see these comments. Oh well, no, there's a lag, yes. And also we're talking right now, and we talk about what you guys say. Usually, of course, there's going to be a lag, yes. Like Grandpa says before, Rose Randy probably hasn't seen a vagina in 8 decades, especially a younger one. Correct? Never.
Thanks for the video.
Oh, what kind of baby shoot is this? Is it normal to have a baby shoot to have this white stuff on? Yes, it's normal, hon. Don't worry about it. I'm just wet for you. Anyway, Bobby G says, I guess my super chat should have done the job.
All right, so I'm curious. I always like. Okay, so somebody named Working on It came in and says this Cicely Eugilio or whatever seems like a sweetheart. How do you know she's a sweetheart based on her saying she knows them? How is somebody passing judgment? What, did she create another account to come in and say she seems like a sweetheart? What kind of comment is that? I mean, I like hyper analyze things beyond all get out. All of a sudden, several people have come out saying that they know them, which no surprise, but who would actually make the statement that the other person seems like a sweetheart? It's kind of, I mean, how do we know?
Chosen one is here for the train wreck. I love seeing these dudes get wrecked. They thought it was going to be sweet moving to a developing country.
Oh, holy shit.
You ain't right, Chosen.
I bitch 3 times a day about stuff. It's just going to be where it is. It's the Philippines. You didn't come here for the infrastructure. You think you came here for the women, and you ended up like a train wreck. It's just where it is what you make of it, and you have to keep on making it and keep on going through it. And you think it's some sort of fix, or you're getting the women. And I said, I told your asses a long time ago you wasn't getting no angels. It's still women. It's still women. We still going to be shady, deceptive, and all the things that we do as women. It's just where it is. The same with the women that have come here and dated Filipino men. They can be snakes too.
Speaking of a train wreck, let me tell you a story about me and my uncle.
Yes, let's talk about the uncle and the hamburger thing real quick.
Okay, so yesterday I was spending time with my uncle, right?
This guy seems to be a lot like George.
I borrowed my uncle's scooter, okay, and I drove off. And don't worry, I do have a license for a motorcycle, and I've been driving motorcycles my entire life. So anyway, I took off with my uncle's scooter, and I decided to buy my uncle a burger. Well, I actually bought burger, fries, and veggie balls, just to have for, like a snack, merienda, as it were. So I went to the lady. She had her stand, right? It was a stand. It wasn't on the street. It was actually a stand. So I went.
Bring it
right.
in.
So I know, but I have to paint it. So I bought, like I said. Oh, and I bought the cheese sticks too. So I bought cheese sticks, fries, and 2 burgers, and veggie balls. So I went back to that. Went back to my uncle. I gave him the stuff, and we started eating. Well, sort of started eating because we're telling stories to each other. And then he says, "How much is that burger?" I said, "Oh, Unc, it's nothing. It's only like 35 pesos." Which, of course, all of you will say, "Yeah, that's nothing. It's 35 pesos." And says, "Well, where I live," he says, "our 35 peso burgers has lettuce and tomatoes." And I said, "This one doesn't?" "No, it doesn't." And I was, what? Because you can tell, But again, I'm not used to having a burger with lettuce and tomatoes if you bought it off the street, quote unquote, on the street. Because again, it wasn't a street; it was a stand. Not on the street. So
George, Jesus Christ, I'm very loose.
stop interrupting. You do realize the more you interrupt, the longer the story goes. Because I have to.
Okay.
You do this all the time.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, that's my. Stop. All right. So see, I get derailed too. So again, as I was saying, that's part of the story. He said that at 35 pesos, it comes with bacon, with lettuce and tomatoes. Okay, not bacon. It comes with lettuce and tomatoes, the burger. And then right before he takes a bite, he says, "Unang kagat, walang laman." It means the first bite has no meat. So he said this before he took a bite. So he took a bite, and there's no meat. And I said, "Oh, is that how it is?" "Yeah, 35 peso burgers are always like that." That's what he said, right? I said, "Okay." And then he took the second bite. And he's like, "Wait a minute, there's still no meat." And I said, "What do you mean there's still no meat?" And then at that point, he spread the burger open, and there was no meat at all. And he says, "It's a
There
cheat."
literally was no meat.
There was
on it?
zero meat. It was the sauce, the secret sauce, and the white. You can see the cheese though. At least it has a slice of cheese.
So they forgot to put the meat
There's
on,
no meat.
or that's just what they called a hamburger.
Well, apparently it's a cheeseburger, literally. But anyway, so I was like, "Oh my god, there's no meat." And I said, let me go grab it, go back, drive back, and bring it back to you with the meat." And he says, "Are you sure you want to do that?" I
Yeah, I
said,
mean I thought he was just talking about like a bargain that if you're 2 bites into it and it's mostly bun, then you got ripped
"No,
off. There was nothing.
no, there was
on
no
it.
meat." So and
Yeah,
he says,
I
"Are you
just-
sure you want to do that?" I said, "Yeah, I want to do that." I said, "I already ate my burger. You're the one's at a loss. You're the one without the burger because I already ate mine. It has a meat on it." So I did drive by, and long story
my God.
short, they made it right. It was an obvious mistake, and they put the meat in, whatever. But anyway,
Oh,
it
yeah.
happens. It happens. No, 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 no. I told him the lady couldn't handle a crowd. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention her name, but the lady couldn't handle a crowd. There was somebody else at the same time, and she was obviously kind of like jostled and doesn't kind of got into a panic mode and forgot to put in the
All right. So
bag.
who again? I see where people are trying to explain who Cecily and Rosa and all that. You'll have to contact us through Messenger or through another means, Philippine Antics at Gmail. We'll just bring you guys on and do a whole separate live. Because one, we've only had this offer for 3 days. I couldn't tell you, and I don't have it. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty easy, but but whatever's going on, then it would just have to be done. I'm not randomly letting 2 people in that are unverified and just came up in the room. Unfortunately, we've said that before. We would have to, but I don't even see. I have no idea how to do it, and we haven't been through the rest of the comments. So put us into a 3-hour live stream. You'll have to come on an individual one to tell us and exactly, because we're skipping through these. We don't even see the context of what's going on. So yeah, it says, Rosa, if it's okay that you tell them, but I have no idea. We know there's some shit going on. It says that Rosa gave you permission to tell her story. So again, we don't know. And lack of spot, I keep seeing where you're saying she should call in. There's no actual calling in. There would be a link sent for her to come in, and it would have to be video. I doubt we would do audio without any confirmation of a live person. So that's what we've been doing for quite some time. And that's thanks to trolls in the past. So, and before, I thought we clarified we were only going to do members and people that are regulars to bring them on. But unless it's set up where we set this up in advance and talk with the person. So what was, 1 second, what is the I don't know, this one. I don't know, I'm not YouTube fan. I have Facebook Messenger. Okay. That was a while back. Okay. Then contact us on Facebook Messenger. If there's one, both, or you're the same person. No, Rosa, she is a sister-in-law. Okay. But I thought they said it was the ex-girlfriend. So I'm trying to figure.
Bobby G says, I'm not bashing, just trashing. She is the worst kind of woman here, makes the good ones look bad and harder to trust. To tell a great story when, well, see, that's the thing. And they don't realize the damage and implication they have done. And I hate to say this, they, meaning Grandy's involved too. What it is most of their viewership are actually a ton of old men. I'm not picking on them. I'm just saying most of their viewership are mostly old men. Why? Because they're selling a dream that old men can come here and have a beautiful younger wife, a younger Filipino wife.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem is because of deceit, now they think all Filipinas are such the same people.
And it's getting worse on the internet because I mentioned this before. If you go on to, you got to be here to probably see it. If you're here in the Philippines and you go on to TikTok, they do dating game shows now. There's like 6 people in there, and they have one Filipina with broken English that's letting 2 couples, like 2 people talk. And it's a foreigner that's usually with broken English, and then a Filipino with broken English. I can only last about 2 minutes on those. And they say the stupidest stuff. I mean, I get that, what can you say or whatever, but they're trying to do hookups on TikTok. And I guess it's better than going on to the dating app, but they're using it to pawn, like the Filipina is pimping out her own Filipinas to foreigners. And they sit like in the, what's that, Hollywood Square crap? Like literally they all sit there in a group, and most of them are half asleep. They're laying in bed. And I'm like, what the hell is this trash? And sometimes I'm going to join in and say, hey, it's Heidi and Philippine Antics. You suck. And then run out of the room. And it's like, just leave them alone. But it's some of the stuff that they do, but they do this constantly. There's these dating things on there. So it is progressively getting where it just would have been a year or 2 ago. You wouldn't have seen much of that. Post-pandemic now, it's like I don't know, Simpson, the smell of desperation and dirty socks is going on.
That's another thing. Like Second Wind says, I told my wife when we started dating, I shoot blanks, and if you want a kid, I'm not the one for you. Now, see, here's the thing. You don't have to say this when it's obvious.
Hey, Cindy.
When I'm saying obviously, no offense, Randy. At your age, no offense to anybody at Randy's age, you're probably shooting blanks. You know what I'm saying? In all probability, you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, so you're telling me that your partner's not intelligent to know to figure out, well, hey, you know what? Let's have a kid together, and you can't provide me one now. So therefore, I'll go get someone somewhere else. What I'm saying is, wait, so you're telling me you got into this relationship, you had desire to have kids, and you actually expected a kid from somebody at that age? Let's forget the guy at this moment. You do realize at your age, I'm actually probably not a good idea to have a kid either for a woman at your age.
Right. So again, we've talked about,
I'm not picking on anybody. A woman at her 40s and a man at his 50s and up. A woman at 40s and up and a man at 50s and up should not
Did you?
probably should not have kids.
Yeah.
Not because it's up an opinion, it's because medically they're probably going to be issues with the kid. Probably going to have issues with the developmental issues. Probably going to have problems mentally. Probably going to have
Right.
issues. Bottom line, again, if you don't believe me, look it up. Do your research. At 40 and up for a woman and at 50 and up for a man, when you have kids, there's usually developmental issues. Is this what you want to bring out? You want your kid to have problems in their life with their health?
I mean, here's the thing. Whoever Cecily and this other person, why don't you just say it? I mean, I don't know why, if you've watched our live streams for 5 years, many people have come through on these topics and just blurted stuff out. Some have been real, others aren't. And I mean, I wouldn't even know. I don't get what it is, but it's starting to disturb me because it's consuming the bottom half of our live stream.
Yeah, Joseph
So,
says my buddy has two
just say
kids and he's 65. Again, that's
I don't know why
fine.
with all this.
I'm just talking about probabilities. Cindy G says not fair to these babies with an old dying father and poverty mom. See, that's another thing. You're going to expire soon, and you're gonna leave children still children. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at that age, I mean, do the math. You're probably gonna live by the time he's turned 16
Well, yeah,
or her
I
16.
mean,
Well, I know he's a guy, but what I'm saying in general, I'm speaking in general. At 65 years old,
well, even her having the baby at that age is still, she's going to be up there in age when that baby graduates.
well, at 40, she'll be
She's
like,
42.
I'm talking about, oh yeah,
That is old for having a baby.
I understand, but in all probability, she'll still be alive. But I mean,
She shouldn't be. I mean, that baby could have had Down syndrome and a bunch of other issues. Both parents being over 40, and I'm sure the other guy's
hopefully
definitely over 40.
not. But
Well,
I'm
you
just
would see
saying
it if he
the
did.
the probabilities go higher.
Right. They took a risk. She took a risk. If that
Yeah,
is
it's a
her
gamble.
first
It's a
kid, it
serious
was a
gamble. Correct.
So on top of that, it was a gamble of,
Yeah, Black Grandma says Randy's an alcoholic who probably couldn't get it up and couldn't get it up. Rose is still young and she has needs. See, that's what I'm saying. You do have to realize that he knew that and she should have known that.
Marcus, you mentioned in here, oh, this is about the guy who announced he won't be making videos. No, that's not the only thing that dude announced. And we received an email about another guy that was scammed and a bunch of other things. So it's about both. It's about both stories, age gap, problems, money, deceit, and the shit that can happen here in the Philippines. So it was never down to just that dude announcing that he won't be doing no videos. People seem to be also diminishing the fact that that's all that was about. Hey, by the way, we came onto this video today to tell you guys I won't be doing videos no more. That's not what it was about. Not at all. But it's funny. I
No,
mean,
that's
you
called a
stay
deflection.
positive.
Yeah.
You be
Yeah.
positive.
Bobby G says,
Not-
and she was
not
sneaky enough to
today.
get knocked up by an ATM machine unless he knew he was stuffing the ballot box in advance with the
Bobby.
knowledge she was in full blown heat for a baby.
Dang, Bobby.
Chosen One says, two
Damn
wrongs
it,
don't make a
Bobby.
right, just makes it even.
Right?
There you
So,
go.
and it's another thing. If the baby itself, she put it at health risk by being over a certain age, and she was trying to get pregnant by a much older guy than her, then financially she evidently couldn't take it and didn't save that much money as an OFW because she's taking a payment for the baby and getting support. So, hey, maybe she's getting some support from her husband too. He could be sending her money too.
Bobby G says, Randy lose booty, Rose lose cootie.
There's a good song. We can do loose cootie song. I bet that cootie was loose.
No, there it is. Cecile says, I know him very well. You can ask me.
Well, ask. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I get that. What time was that? That was a while back. That was almost an hour and a half ago. So I'm saying they've been down there chatting, but it hasn't really added up. All it's caused me to do is read an explanation and then coming in with the viewers. But I was just curious on what exactly internet voicing. Right? Ain't that the truth? No, that's all I'm saying is if there really is something and you really want to spill the beans, we've brought people on and it like that damn British guy that was out. By the way, nothing ever came up. He went silent on everything because he knows immigration is looking for him. That was a whole hot mess. And, we're not, it just turned out what it was. So people did come forward. We did another one because the woman wanted her voice. So if there was something else going on, then yeah, I would.
Like I says, wear Crocs if the floor's slippery, right? There you go.
Or just take a chance and bone up woman and just do it. But I don't think that's what that. And when did that house get built? That second section, has it always been there so they could live separately? I mean, does his breath stink? And she said he snored and complained about. Somebody said he was having loose bowels at night and all this weird. Yeah, he's an older dude that claims to have no health issues.
Again,
And
like I said, you should have known that when you started dating him.
yeah, I mean, I get separate bedrooms and separate continents.
You don't have enough common sense to figure out, well, hey, okay, trust me. When I date somebody, I look at them and then I figured, can I deal with it? AKA, for example,
my ADHD, me cutting you off.
No, I go as deep as, okay, if perchance there's a civil war, what can I do to protect my partner? Can she help me? Can I protect her? Should I protect her? Should I?
Will she protect me? Will she cause that civil war?
No. For those of you who are not aware the kind of person I am, I was a prepper. Keyword was. I was a prepper.
Right now.
I had 6 months food supply in the house at all times. Fact. And then when I'm in a relationship, I said, okay, so I have to double up my supplies to keep up the 6 month supply. That kind of deal. My point is, when I put a partner in my life, I calculate things. Okay, do I have this for her? Can I provide this for her? Can I do this for her? I'm not going to go into like, if I decide to be with a 65-year-old woman, I'll be like, okay, sex is off the books. Or I can buy like, a drum of KY jelly. You know what I'm saying? Point being is you have to think ahead.
Yeah, you got to try to pre-see things. You're not going to see everything. I get that, but you still have to have some sensibility along the way. A lot of people are in here conversating at the bottom about it was irresponsible. So if she would have got pregnant by him with a 25-year age gap, you're looking at the Mark Thornton thing. And that kid from Mark Thornton can still have issues.
The guy's gone by the time that kid's of age. Of any age.
Was that Social Security payment or any of the money you got for him and the turnover of a channel that so was worth, all that you're going through and everything else?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so. But there's comments. Yeah, it was kind of irresponsible on top of that. So add that to the list of irresponsibility that you caused. I think there's a story behind old Randy Roo, that's for sure.
Oh, YouTube Experience says Dunkin' also said it was National Donut Day today. Dunkin' Donuts too. Okay.
Well, if it's National Donut Day, they're all going to post it, babe.
No, I mean that means they have their own promo. That's what he's basically saying.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Spill the beans, ladies. Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. If you guys really. And, usually people reach out like this person told us this new story and that's crazy. But it's like, yeah, another YouTuber, but that's a large amount of money. We've heard so many stories similar to that. And we just don't cover them. I'm like, I'm just going to start putting them out again. It's time to get back into some of the drama again.
Yeah. Melvin says, if I can't sing this, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. I can't sing it.
Yeah.
I can't sing, period.
Just try.
But anyway, however, this line is towards the sideline, not Randy, unfortunately.
I still think there's dirt on Randy Roo.
Yeah.
I feel another live stream coming on, ladies. Contact me. We'll put you on and let you have a work, because evidently he's squirming in his chair. I'm just surprised he hasn't done something.
White Samurai says, I heard Filipino families try to make white babies so they can Sell them for big. Whoa, White Samurai. That's a little dark there, buddy.
I said GMA broadcaster.
Now, does this happen? Yes, it does happen
I
often.
was just curious why she didn't go
Extremely
with
rare.
another Filipino. But I don't like the new platform.
Spill the tea, Marcel. There you go.
Well,
If she's not married to Randy,
there was
this
no
convo is obsolete.
We didn't have automation on StreamYard.
No. What it is there's a lot of chats. Guys, the chats are nonstop. It's hard to filter you guys.
Well,
out.
here's the thing. There's automated. We know some of the vloggers just let it run through, but then we don't get to really answer them. If that's what you guys want, we'll put out a thing and do a vote. But if we do that,
no, there's no vote. We don't want that.
We want to be able to answer them as we
and
go
we do
along
want to filter
and
them too.
Unfortunately,
but there's a lot of chats right now. Like for example, 28K for
because
for
understand some of these are being held that are on
must
our
be
thing.
Lechon.
Yeah,
right? No, I mean
28,000. There were only 25
that's
people,
a lot.
so that couldn't have been that. I mean, no, it sounds like
Okay.
she asked him for the money and he gave it to
Right.
her.
So Pinay Home says again, a Pinay Home, Pinay Home. My wedding last year, the food for 30 was 8,000 pieces, including the venue.
Right. So she took him for money.
No. Again, that's why I said, is it possible? Yes, but highly unlikely.
Yeah.
So that means there's a patong, as they say. Patong, which means it got padded.
Yeah.
You got, it's padded. The bill was padded, right? Made them patong. Yeah, it was padded. Correct. Because again, on average, price of a lechon is about 5 to 10. Anything higher than that, is it possible? Yes, but unlikely.
Yep.
Oh, dang you, second win. Okay, second win says, new drinking game. We each have to take a shot when George says, what I'm saying is, screw you, second win. That's
perfect.
I can do that drinking game right now. Where's my moonshine? Anyway,
Cars.
W says all this makes Jen Thornton look like a Miss Innocent. She's driving a new car around
the only
Dumagetti
thing she
now.
was guilty of was marrying an older guy, and to me, it seems she forced him into having a kid. He wasn't taking care of his health. He was cutting back on money, and basically, she went from extreme poverty to being with him, which wasn't saying a whole lot, but way better in that golden, situation. And now she's living back at the family home, fixing it up. Got a new car, new furniture in the house, and everything else. But she's, I love you.
I love you guys. You guys are
innocent compared
freaking
to this,
hilarious.
yes.
Bobby G says, stay in the hotel though. No Ben, my wife. Blocking Light says, those towels so slippery though, Bobby.
Yeah.
That ain't the only thing slippery, buddy.
Yeah.
Slippery when wet, just saying. Like Bon Jovi says, slippery when wet.
She was
Bobby,
bent over, drooling like a brooding sow.
Oh, dang, you ain't right.
Just reading the comments.
Right.
Just reading the comments.
She got slippery when wet signs all over the house. That's what I said. Right, she accidentally get pregnant because she slipped on the tile and impregnated.
Yes, of course. Andrew Lessman, the vitamin guy. Most definitely.
Oh, I don't know that guy.
Andrew Lessman, he did vitamins.
Oh.
Guy with dark hair, tall and skinny. I don't even know if
he must be there all the time then.
Well, yeah,
if
the vitamins.
W says that means he's there all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the number one thing they sold. Their top selling item was vitamins. So, yeah. At one point, HSN in St. Petersburg, Florida was just one open studio. At another part, they divided it off. But with customer accounts and the department I worked with, we were right there by the stage and we handled all the computers. And so it was kind of sweet. Yeah. So everybody that came up on the main stage in the center of the studio was a large lot. God, I think they said they had 100,000 acres. It was like really big in St. Pete.
Right.
And yeah, so Andrew Lessman was there all the time. So
Cindy G says from Dumaguete says
Cindy.
6 to 8. She's 43. Wake up, man. What are they thinking?
I get it. I mean, because if George was to fall down the stairs and slip away a couple days later, and it was just me, and I'm lonely, and the cats just weren't getting it, meow meow meow, and I just can't imagine. And I don't have a lot of money, but it's 5, 6, 7 times more than the persons are making here, right? Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
It doesn't do anything when you click on it. But anyway.
Maybe that's from the other channel,
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Or it's
My
where
guess,
we're
yeah.
broadcasting. I think it's showing we're broadcasting from 2 places.
Yeah, Cecile says,
But
like,
yeah, so
yeah.
if something like that happened, I couldn't even consider, because of the amount of money coming in, that somebody would like me for me. I would just be reasonable about it right from the beginning.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about Cindy
Randy
saying, wake up and
Yeah, I'm
think.
talking
I'm
about
saying,
older
if you
expats.
slipped down the stairs and died, me having over 100,000 pesos a month income coming in the house, I surely would not consider bringing in somebody that is that young, that wouldn't see me as a mother figure. I guarantee she's seen him even at that age as a mother. All these older guys, there's just too much going on. Looking at you like a grandpa, looking at you like a family member, but still doing all these things, and the income difference, and there's many reasons they could be being nice. I could not imagine dating under any circumstance. I'm going to wet my own whistle. That's what's going to happen.
Well,
I'm going to get on Lazada and buy wet your whistle.
Because she didn't respect her elders.
It's right. So it's I'm sorry. It's just not. And I'm going to tell you, even at my size, broke out skin, and attitude, they still going to come. There's no way half these guys even got anything going on. There's just no way. No way. On my worst day or best day, I would date most of these guys here. What's his name said it right. Most of them are broken when they're coming here. You got a portion that do really well. They're smart. We got a lot of smart viewers that are doing their thing. We're talking about those other idiots. And a big portion come here and totally screw up. And what did he call them? Not destitute, not heathens. What does Chosen One call them? He's got a name when he says
degenerates.
Degenerates. Sorry, I'm half degenerate and have ADHD. I get it. But, you know, I brought my packed lunch. And if my packed lunch expires,
guys, if
that's it.
If you lose your chav to Chad, that's exactly what it is. Just saying.
I'm going to go find me a lady boy. That's what I'm going to go find me.
I mean, don't expect to get a chav and get a wife. Not the same thing.
Wait a minute. I think that's a win-win situation. If I get a lady boy, that means I still got a boy. And somebody who does dishes and has good makeup. We can share makeup.
Once a pok, always a pok.
Oh, snap. Okay. Onward, James.
All right.
Yeah,
like a spot says, Cecile is the ex. Rosa Medina is Randy's in-law and Cecile's friend acquaintance.
Yeah, somebody answer Colby. We're covering that other couple and couples with age gap that are having issues, giving out tons of money, building houses on land, and supposedly the American man Filipino wife has got a 25-year lease now from this girlfriend. It's not his wife, so it's a YouTuber who lied. And then his YouTuber alleged wife was no longer his wife, but his girlfriend. She's married. The baby's not even his. And they've been building the channel on that along with charities. And then we received an email within the last 24 hours that there's another couple, and $108,000 was sent to her before he even showed up over kidney issues for her dad. That's a lot of freaking money. And he sent that, and then when they allegedly got married, I don't even think he's even married according to the entire email. So she provided and got the paperwork done. Allegedly they're married. He's already been kicked out of the house. So
and again, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from dating anybody.
No, this isn't.
But point being is, know who you are and know your value, and also be aware that if you think that they're out of your league, they probably are.
What are you doing, Mary? What are you doing? Hi, BB.
LG says old dudes coming from the West and having access to 20-year-olds is being in the ball game rather than sitting in the bleachers watching the game in the West. My vlogging life says my ADHD blocks George's voice over 30 seconds of continuous chatter. Thanks,
I
man.
do the same. Yeah, I know you do it for
Well,
me too.
anyone's honestly. Hosea says, as it turns out, an American woman and a Filipino man have the clearest point of view.
Okay, how do they have the clearest point of view? Please elaborate on that one.
Mercury Kirk, regular guy, the father.
AI told us so.
Radar, something
And
about
he was in that area.
where's the beef?
Where's
the
the beef?
No, really, he opened the hamburger and there was nothing in there. Where's the beef?
I thought, oh my god, it was funnier earlier because he told me the story, but he just went through and said, "I got my uncle a hamburger," and then he said that he took a bite, there was nothing, and what a 35 peso. And understand that's only like 50 cents right now, U.S. You're probably lucky you don't get bread and cheese.
Victor C says you had a wish sandwich and 2 pieces of bread, and you wish you had beef.
That's a good one,
right? I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah, we're trying to get.
Vlogging life says I have to be more careful with my gamble money.
Right.
Right.
What did Joseph? Hey,
oh,
Joseph.
I read that earlier.
Okay.
Hey, Joe says you are telling the truth because I see a bunch of YouTubers age with 1 to 2-year-old children with intellectual disabilities.
There's a few of them.
Yeah.
I forgot who interviewed. I don't know if that was Overstay Road that went to some other guy's house that had 4 or 5 kids, and he was up there in his 60s, and a few of the kids had Down syndrome.
Yeah, but he's not even that old though. He's not even a senior.
Who?
Overstay.
Oh, anything over a certain age, if a man has. I'm talking about the other guy.
That's what I said. If for a guy, if you're past 50,
I think
for a
I
woman,
think he's pushing 60 or getting near 60, which isn't.
well, he's not at that retirement age. I'm just saying, once you're past 50, as a guy, and women, once you're past 40.
Oh, he said my father had me at 52. He died when I was 24. Wow. So.
Well, see, 52 is still respectable. So
yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you're at 62, then that means he would be 14. That's what I was saying. 50 is not. It's not at retirement age. That's what I'm saying. So it's still somewhat borderline. You know what I'm saying? But if he was 62, then yeah, that means he would have passed at 14. So that's what I was talking about. Most of these guys are at 60. It's the kids they're playing. Yeah. Cindy G says after a woman's 35 years old, scientific proof issues with babies again not fair to. Yeah. See, Cindy G saying at 35. Yes, I'm aware at 35 it begins, but there are ones that have it at 40, and that's really what's that? What's the word they use? I forgot what term they use. There's a term once a woman has a baby at 40, but anyway. Chat, let us know what that term is.
It's about like the mature pregnancy. They call it senior pregnancy.
No, there's something else.
Oh, okay.
But
they call it.
Yeah, no, there's several terms, but yeah. Bobby G, also they load women with meds here at OB/GYN offices. My wife was given non-approved vitamins and iron and other crap, so I bought my own vitamins from the United States. At least they were regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to realize they do what they're trained for. It may be outdated, but they have the best interest.
They did that when I was pregnant. They handed off vitamins and iron direct from the office back in those days. But
they mean well. They mean well.
Yeah.
Bobby G says, yeah, there's a lot of these.
It's the name of the channel, Philippine Antics at gmail.com is where we receive the message, or Philippine Antics. That's everything. You can find us if you just go and do
hit up
Google.
us on our email or DM us. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, every platform has Philippine Antics. Just put it in Google and click on something.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are having babies in the late 60s and 70s. So how long can they have? 10 to 15 years tops. And how many of these years are going to be throwing football with them playing? Correct. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, but Joseph, that's what I'm talking about. Most of these guys are in their late 60s and 70s. I'm not talking about the guys in their 50s.
Yeah. So
Although I personally, at my age, I'm not gonna have any more kids. Or what I'm saying is, let's say I'm single, I have no interest in kids because I know at this age it's
yeah,
probably
they
not a
all
good
say they
idea.
all
You
say
know what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
10, 15 years tops, and how many of these years are gonna be throwing the football with them playing? Correct. Um, Hosea says old men having children with a woman of any age. The French often address the complexities of old age, latent schizophrenia, and familial responsibility, raw honesty, and poetic death. Correct. Page expat pepper. Ooh, pepper. Yes. Again, trust me. Page expat pepper. I had some type of like pew pew at every room, and I had supplies. Yeah, Heidi will attest to that. Kobe says the dating is about 98% for paid and play. Ooh, the dating is about 98% for paid and play. In my opinion, it's basically prostitution. I didn't come here for this.
Yeah.
Right. He's saying he didn't come to the Philippines. Well, I don't think, again, it's not most women.
It makes it more complex than you'll get from channels that are putting out It's okay. So they show you something different through all the social media platforms. And during that dating thing through TikTok, there was the Filipina goes, "Have you ever even been to the Philippines?" And he's like, "No, but I'd like to see it." And I'm like, "Dude, you're on here doing a dating
Right.
show with a girl and you haven't even considered, and it's different if she was in the US. Like when I met George, I didn't come over here to meet George. For those that don't know, George lived there
I live in the
forever, owned a
US, yes.
business, had his house and cars and all that. So I mean, that's something different. I didn't need to be to the Philippines to start to dating George. Now, should I have come here in advance and actually checked it out? Probably, but I still would have came. And there was a whole different circumstance. We were burning through the savings during the pandemic, and it just goes from there. There's a plenty of videos, in our video thing showing how and why we came here, but we just retired sooner than later instead of just burning through the money as a business owner. That was the best thing we could have done. So, but especially with what's going on in the US right now, it's a hot mess. But yeah.
Yeah, me and
so-
Heidi were local. I literally lived about 5 to 10 minutes away, depending on traffic. We're literally right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luca
But
says
it is a hot mess.
we are
there.
doomsday preppers too. In fact, if for those of you preppers out there, just so you guys know, I had two big thick chains. I'm talking about real gate chains on my front door. Right?
Yeah.
No, I did. In fact, my cop friends, when they saw it, they're like, I approve. That's what they told me. Yeah. Hosea says if your father was over 35, be sure to look out for latent schizophrenia. Yeah, even younger. No, this is true. This is true. We don't know when we're gonna pass. Yes, even younger fathers can die or have early problems, but still less likely someone in their late 60s or 70s. That's what we all men should watch out for our health best we can.
Yeah, I don't get the next comment. Just read Cecily can't spill tea because too much information.
No, what
So,
what
what am I
Luca's
missing?
saying is she can't put it out on the live because it's TMI. It's probably not a good idea. That's what
So
Luca's
then
saying.
through
That's what
coming
Luca's
on,
saying.
all right. So coming on
So
to the
basically-
live stream or
basically-
typing it out.
Yeah, typing it out on the live stream. So what she's saying is she probably wants to talk to us to
Okay, well,
give
then
us
she can. That's fine.
right,
She can
and then
contact
it's
us
up
and
to
we'll
us what we
We'll
can
do the next
disseminate.
live
Yeah.
and break it down and
It's kind of
Sure.
like sometimes you don't want to be too graphic, that kind of deal.
gotcha. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
Coffee kicked in.
Working on it says moist.
You need to go sit down somewhere working on it.
That roast beef is moist.
Worst word on earth. That kind of goes through me. That makes me want to break something with the baseball bats I got in this
Working
house.
on it says she slipped on a foreign hot dog. Give her a break, right? She was She was cleaning the house, vacuuming, and then oops, she slipped and fell into a foreign hot dog. There it is.
Something like that.
Yeah. Joseph Relford says, "Old saying, rather be old man's sweetheart than a young man's fool." There you go. True. This is very true.
Right?
This is very true.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's good to be true, it is. Oh,
What?
Bobby G says, "Blue Chew and TRT, those old flagpoles, wrinkle-free ladies." Wow, Bobby G, you use Blue Chew? Really? Okay. Blue Chew is, for those who don't know what Blue Chew is Viagra. It's a chewable Viagra. It actually tastes pretty good. It comes to little packs, and you don't need a prescription because you go through their online doctors to get a prescription. That's what Blue Chew is. Anyway,
Colby, his message got held. It says, so much money spent and so many stupid, degenerate foreigners.
oh dang.
That got held by YouTube. It flat out says held for review.
Hosea says, "George, your wife sees things from the point of view men say to run away from, and you have the point of view the men Filipinas say they are running from." No, what it is, it's nobody wants to hear the truth.
Well, that's the one thing that we have to say hands down that our channels had for years. We were the first to do, besides Sunshine Shoulder and Geo doing, their lives.
Hey Calvin, hey
They've
Gio.
actually increased their live streams, but the increase on live streams, but we still are the American woman, Filipino husband. And George lived, 28 years in the US?
Yeah.
So not only did he have a family and has family here and there, it's everything. So it's kind of like, yeah. And now that I've lived here almost 5 years, I'm really seeing the perspective of things getting out.
Well, that's another thing. That's why I said, like, nobody has the right to judge foreign men or women if you've never lived in their country. I mean, come on. Even okay, put it this way: even I can't judge American women. I've lived in the U.S. I can't judge American women because guess what? Honestly, I never had a problem with American women. I never had a problem dating different types of. Trust me, I'm saying. They say, "Oh, women this, women that." No,
are you talking about like being able to date or get a
it's
woman?
who you choose. It's who you choose to date. It's who you want to be with.
Well, you've had issues dating American women.
Well, no. There's a difference though. Although most of that's different though.
Okay.
The ones, okay, the first one that I married, I'm an amateur, obviously,
Well, we all are.
and the second one was a really long term. But anyway,
yeah.
Point. You're the third one. So what I'm saying is, the first
George is
one,
a slut.
I get a free pass on the first one.
Well, yeah, everybody gets pretty much.
Yeah,
So-
everybody makes a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake.
Well, I'm just saying our channel has more than even Geo said it's an original channel because we called it Antics because of the comedy or getting down into it. And I'm just gonna say it. You can't stop this train situation. So you got me where I'm with an emotional craziness, and then you're the calm side. We fight on air. There's been plenty of fights. I've gotten up and said F it. And for those that have been around long term have seen me pop off and we've been into it. And we don't hide that. Like we've had full fights. And so we just keep it raw. And that's just where it's been. And
Raw
then you
dog it.
have where we did nothing but expat help in the beginning. We still do expat help. We have our own deal with the pets. And there's just all kinds of stuff going on. So the channel has always
That's
had
serious
something
slang. Where's
going
that
on.
at?
Where?
Oh, there it is. Oh, thank you so much, Victoria.
Yeah, just
Appreciate
a
it so
different
much.
channel. So
Enjoying my Saturday Philippine Antics fix. Buy a copy. Thank you so much, Victoria.
thank
Appreciate
you
it
so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we setting up to do the birthday. I'm really starting to think about this swimming pool and barbecue thing out front. I'm thinking about just getting
Hot dogs. It's your hot dogs.
Yeah, because we
Hot
won't
dog in the
if we
hallway.
hand out barbecue and have people come over and watch movies. They're gonna want in that swim pool, and it's gonna be a tiny swim pool.
We're going to be serving hot dogs and roast beef.
Listen, dude, and you don't seem to be real cooperative. And then we're gonna have to do it towards the evening. Then there's gonna be mosquitoes biting the shit out of me. If we do it part daytime, I'm gonna get burnt. And then people won't stop coming around for weeks after that looking for food. And so I'm not sure about this, but I started getting through looking for these little plastic swimming pools to put out there. And I'm like, I have to really think about this. But we always do many, many activities in July. It's George's birthday, my birthday, quite a few of the pets' birthdays. We have a son that was born, granddaughter was born. All kinds of things go on in July for us as far as birthdays. But we both were born the first 2 weeks of July, and we go all kinds of places. So eventually, I'm gonna save to go to Japan if I can get my butt up off this
Right.
couch. But
Bobby G says we like the tea in the Philippine Antics room. Next live, let's do it, guys. Lol. MJ has an interesting theory.
I'm
MJ
still thinking
says
about that British guy.
my guest Randy had prostate cancer, and my doctor told me there's a 99% chance I would never have children again after chemotherapy.
Interesting.
This may be why Randy knew it was likely the baby wasn't his.
Well, that, and he drinks a lot, and there's a lot of things going on that they're talking about that he's doing. And yes, and then who knows? I'm just not thinking he had the capability at that age and the drinking. It almost
Yeah.
puts it totally out of.
Yeah, Bobby G says also agrees with you, Heidi. He says I can almost guarantee that drinking 2 gallons of Red Horse a day didn't help with swimmers being
Probably
strong.
not. I know we're.
That would be 8 bottles of Red Horse, right? Oh no,
There's
six-
3.4
that's 16 bottles.
liters in a gallon,
That's 16,
so
16.
that'd be 7 bottles. He
Well,
said 2 gallons, so there's 3
They're
bottles.
500. He's drinking the 500s.
Those are 500.
Those are 500s. Those are not the big ones.
Them's not liters.
No, those are 500s. The ones he drinks on live.
George. Oh yeah, you talking about yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what he's talking about as far as gallons, okay.
Right.
let's
That's why I
not
said
break it down.
16. Yeah, that's why I said 16. 8 if it's the big ones, but it's not. He drinks the 500s.
6. Yeah, it'd be 12 or 13 now. Yeah, I bet he drinks more than 13 beers a day.
Yeah. Joseph says I meet a lot of guys in their 60s in the gym over here on TRT. Right. They're on the testosterone. Right.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
The old lady next to him is Ricky.
There you
Somebody
go.
said, "Who's the old lady?"
Right. Angelo says I'm 48. My daughter's 7, born on. Oh, really? Huh?
Yeah, daughters.
Oh, yeah. Then never mind, Angelo. Yeah. No. I got mixed up with somebody else. Sorry. Bobby G says, yes, all my kids in the U.S. are grown and didn't want more, but I chose to have one because the women I chose here want to be. Well, of course, most of them want to be a mother.
Yeah, I mean, most women do want to.
And I knew would be a great one. She was financially stable also. Yes, CRT is great. I'm 45. Got it on a couple years ago. Just for energy, it's been amazing for me. Feel 20 again. Keeps you level up. 45. Get the scoop, guys.
Hey, what's
Fill up.
going on, Michael?
Well, here's the thing. Just make sure the TRT is from a legitimate source. You don't want tainted TRT.
Does happen.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I use Blue Chew. I'm 45. My wife's 30. I'm a one and done. She's a 3 and a free, so need help. Yeah, Blue Chew.
Three and a free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, second one. I'm out. Have
a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
have a good one.
Yeah.
My mom was 41 and my dad was 42. Now you know what I am. Right. Maybe this Randy has a death wish drinking himself into oblivion, especially here in the Philippines because the alcohol is cheap.
Damn, working on it says no poop. 2 pump chumps.
The 2 pump chump.
You wish.
Right? I got George sweating on me for 3 hours, man.
You wish.
That's the problem. I'm trying to be the 3 lump chump, and I'm not about sitting there. I got stuff to do.
I still have the young stamina. They don't call me the Energizer Bunny for nothing.
Correct. And I'm trying to still get my housework done. I got stuff to do. I'm like ADHD when it comes to that. Like, I finished 45 minutes ago, George. Do you mind? And so it's like you causing more electricity and friction in this house than I want to sweat about.
If I hire a hooker, honestly, she loses money.
George is trying to get his workout and freak on. So I'm like, you freak. I got to go. I got stuff to do. You know me. So anyways, guys, this is a quick goodbye. Thank you for your support.
Say goodbyes, guys. Yeah.
If you guys haven't.
Love you guys.
Oh, wrong side. Point one side and the other. Which one? Hit that birthday funds because that's part of our retirement plan too. Something like that.
It's over here.
Anyway, so, and if you haven't subscribed,
subscribe. Oh wait, no, maybe it's over there. I haven't figured that out yet.
The QR code is up there, man.
It's up there somewhere.
We're
still
trying to go to Japan for our birthday.
I'll figure it out after this. Yeah.
So we gonna need about $2,000.
Yeah, and for those of you who have information, again, feel free to email us. Our email is philippineantics@gmail.com. Feel free to contact us.
We're on all
or you can
social
contact us on Facebook. If you're real, go ahead, contact us on Facebook, DM us. Thank you so much. Love you guys. We love you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you so much, Chosen One.
Bobby
Thank you so
G,
much, Bobby
Vlogging
G.
Life was in here today.
Yeah, thank you so much,
you,
Discerning
Victoria.
Dash. Thank you so much. Second
Ted
Wind,
was
appreciate
in the
you so
house
much.
today.
Thank you, Ted and Scott.
Jeez,
Appreciate
my
you.
eyes. If I put those glasses on, which are reading glasses,
Victor
they mess
C.
with my eyes.
Thanks for live streaming, vlogging life. Good night, all.
Black a spot, thank you.
Grammy got her grooves on. Top
Victor
left. Thank you so much. Grammy got her move on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Later, peeps. Have a good one. Enjoy your day, weekend. Thank you.
See, the cats are all passed
Till the
out
next
now.
live.
And they wreak havoc.
See
you guys on Tuesday.
Stay young, stay warm, stay moist.
Stay dry. Bye, guys.
Moist and slippery.
Have a good Friday night.